What's up, brothers? Good evening. We're here. We're live. We're on, brothers. It's on. This is BSP coming to you. Let me get my lighting a little right here, man. Got my little studio set up here. Brothers, tonight is a special night. We are talking about a country I know and love very well. And that country is called Japan, brothers. I hope I'm kind of clear, man. I don't feel like I'm clear right now. But I'm gonna try to do my best. See my background. It's all about Japan, brothers. This BSP is all about Japan. My screen doesn't look as clear. So got some settings issues here. See if I can fix that. Because this thing is always wait here we go. Let me try some HD. For a minute should be refreshing itself. Oh, that looks a little bit better, brothers. That looks better. Here we go. Might be about the same. It's looking a little bit better in the background. You brothers can see me. I think it's because I don't have enough light. Get some lighting up in here. But y'all gonna get the message, brothers. Let me go ahead and do the thing that I like to do to get my thing started off. Because some brothers who've seen my Facebook pages in the past know what the brothers about. Drinking a little wine from France tonight, man. Some Haute Ledge. It's supposed to be real nice. So you see my fingers all up in here and everything like that. I'm a virtual. So, brothers, tonight is on. Is Japan is the right place for the black man. That's what this is all about. Japan's the right place for the black man. Brothers, I just got back from Japan. I had a wonderful 2 week, 3 day trip to Japan, a country I know and love. I haven't been to Japan in 9 years, a little bit over 9 years. The last time my wife and I were there with my little son when he was about 7 months old was like 13 years ago. And I'm sorry, 9 years ago. So we missed it. We were supposed to go back during the Olympics. Um, we kept putting trips off because we bought a house here in the U.S. and we were like, okay, so let's see what we can do with that. And then we were supposed to go back during the Olympics. But that didn't pan out well, brothers. It did not pan out at all. It was just one of those things to where we were trying to get, you know, rolling, but then the pandemic hit, and so I'm just excuse me 1 minute. I'm just trying to give me some. Okay, they tell me I'm just trying to get my background set up here, right? I don't like the way my background camera looks. I guess it looks better. Oh, there you go. Look better on the smaller screen. So let me go ahead and make my screen a little bit smaller because for exit full screen, I think that's what it is. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, that's a lot better. That's better. Okay, so yo, what's up? What's up, Mufasa? What's up, brother? I got you. I got you up there, brother. I'm gonna be bringing you on the panel tonight, brother. And I want to give a special shout out to my brothers before I get started. I want to give a special shout out to Mufasa. Happy New Year, brother, to you and your beautiful family. Happy New Year to you, brother. It was really nice hooking up with you up in Vance City. I want to also give a special shout out to my crew. My crew to my heart. Um, everybody's to my heart, but I gotta give my love to my crew because I hung out with my crew. Sean Davis up there, my big homeboy up there in Van City. DC, Sean DC Camp, another man I talk to on the daily, on the regular. Another love out going out to Josh, Vino Epps up in there. I want to give a special shout out to Anzel. I want to give a special shout out also to my man Jay Takashi, who may be up on this platform later on. Jay know I got number love for him too. I got number love from everybody. I also want to give a special shout out to a brother who I'm trying to get to go back to Japan. This was one big reason why I'm doing this. What up, DC? Theo. Want to give a special shout out to Theo, brothers. Without Theo, man, none of us would be up here really. When I fell in love with this platform when I saw Theo up in here. So I just want to give a special shout out to my brothers and say Happy New Year to all the brothers, to all the black men out there, because I'm always about my black men. I'm always about my brothers, man. Tonight, I'm not gonna blow smoke up anybody's ass, brothers. This is it. I'm telling it all. You seen that picture, man? He's my distant cousin, Muhammad Ali. When he's in the fight, he going like, "That's me." I'm opening my mouth wide, telling it all, brothers, brothers. You gotta get to Japan. Oh my goodness, brothers, you gotta get to Japan. And if I could say the same thing that a brother said, one of my favorite rappers of all time, Tupac, said, when he put that song out, "Picture Me Rolling," you know, y'all thought I was gonna get clean up in prison. It only made me worse. Just like Japan, man, it's the same thing. They got worse, brothers. Brothers, they checking for brothers. To answer IP, if IP get up here tonight, they checking for brothers. They checking for brothers. And they checking for brothers hard. Now, here's what I've experienced. I'm on the train, just getting out fresh out the airport. We tired. We just caught the Narita Express from Narita Airport to Tokyo Station. Then we on the Shinkansen. Now, y'all should know by now the Shinkansen means bullet train. And it's a train that goes between cities. It's not a local commuter train. It's an inner city train, right? Like the interstate, it goes to intercity, intersection, interprefecture. So here we are, man. We tired, man. My son's hands. I look at my hands are dry as a bone. My son's hands are dry as a bone. This dime piece stewardess pulls up. They got the stewardess lady who rolls the cart. And I'm gonna take my time on the stream, brothers. I'm not gonna rush through shit because I want you brothers to get the gist of this shit. So she's rolling up in there, man. She a little on the thick side, but she not fat. She thick. She nice. She got a rack. She got a butt. Everything, right? She looking nice in her little uniform. So she rolls up, and I'm like, "Excuse me, I'm Japanese, and I like to get a coffee." And my son ordered some stuff. My wife ordered something. And then when I was giving them my money, I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, my hands are so dry. By the way, do you have any lotion that we can buy off you?" Because I didn't know what they sold. They had all kind of stuff in the cart. So the transaction gets done. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't sell lotion." Now, keep in mind, brothers, the word I don't sell lotion. So what she does is after she gives my change back, guess what this woman does? She reaches into her pocket and she grabs her own lotion, which is about 80% used. It's almost done. And she just opens up the cap and I hold my hand out and she pours some lotion on my hand and it pours on my son's hand. And we start rubbing our hands together to get the moisture back. Brothers, 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 you can't buy that. You can't buy that. You can't just be that for a day. You can't just say, "Oh, I can do this for you for one day." Brothers, that's embedded in that society. What up, Dez? Special shout out to my brother Dez up in South Africa, baby. It's like, you know, you can't buy that, brothers. That's not fake. That's genuine woman in Japan. Genuine. This woman knew she didn't sell any lotion, but she reached into her own pocket and she poured lotion in my hands. Now, here's what I'm getting at, brothers. Here's what I'm getting at. The way these women think is every single time they run out of their house, they're always on the up to attract a man. They do everything in their bones to attract a man. Because were a brother single, I would have never forgot about that, right? What would have happened was I would have went she would have came back around. I would have seen her between the cars, and I would have said, where you from? What's your name? She would have told me her name. She would have told me where she's from, because that's how they are. And then I would have said, look, I'm new here in the country. I don't know much about Japan, but can you tell me where can I go to get some really good steak or really good fried chicken or whatever you want to say? And you know what, brothers? That woman will be like, well, I'm in Tokyo next week. Are you gonna be in town? And you can be like, yes, I'll be in town, baby. I'll be in town. Okay. Don't tell nobody, but here's my number. Call me. That's Japan, brothers. There's nothing half-ass about this. That's Japan. Another thing, before I start going, because I made a list, brothers. I made a list of stuff I'm gonna talk about tonight. Oh yeah, it's on. Well, here's another experience of the many that I've had that I remember right off the top of my head. I'm in Shibuya, and you know the picture behind me, that's Shibuya. What you looking at behind me, my background is Shibuya from the Shibuya crossing, the world's busiest crossing. And right that train right there, that's the Yamanote line. That's the loop line in Tokyo. The writing under it says JR in Japanese, Shibuya Station. All right. So I was in Shibuya, and that building that you see, if you're looking at me, to my right or left, depending on where you're looking, the one with the red on it a little bit with the crane in front of it, that's the Shibuya Scramble. That's the one that I went up that night and filmed myself coming downstairs and filmed from on top, up there on top of Shibuya. Well, that night, as I was coming down, because in that building they also have like 13 floors of shopping, a straight up shopping, right? I mean, everything, restaurants, food, you name it, they got it. So here I am taking the escalators downstairs, and I'm behind these two fine ass dimes. They look to be about 25, 26-year-old dimes. The one is standing in front of the other one. The one is, between us. She had on this beautiful black bucket hat. Used the leather hat look like a bucket. And I was looking at this hat, man, and I was like, damn. I tapped her on the shoulder. And you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, you know how in the States or in America, in the West, you tap a lady on the shoulder, they start getting all crazy. Oh, what are you touching me for? It wasn't none of that, brothers. I tapped on her shoulder and I said, I like your hat. And I had on a leather hat like this. I like to wear these. This is my style. It's my fro. I like to wear my black leather ones. And she said, "Oh, thank you." But that wasn't the end of it, brothers. Her friend looked at me and said, "You got a nice hat on too." Now, here's why I'm bringing this up. Here's why I'm bringing this up, brothers. What did I tell y'all a few minutes ago? I said that every female in Japan, when they leave their house, they're trying to attract a man, regardless. So that means that if I'm complimenting the one female, her friend will make sure that she get noticed by giving me a compliment. Brothers, you like my boy, and I'm always gonna use a lot of his terms. You can't make this shit up. Like the Godfather said himself, you can't make this shit up. This is not a society where women are running around saying, "Okay, I think I can be the nice for a day, or I can be this." No, this is embedded in their society. And if you know anything about Japanese history, you will know that during the Tokugawa shogunate, after they had all the wars to unify the country, Japan was at peace for 250 years up until the late 1800s. And you know what that means? That means that a country had 250 years to work on their culture, to solidify their culture in their people, to embed their culture in the soul of the people, uninterrupted. So you get brothers out there saying, "Oh, do you think Japan will change? They got the Western women there now." Yeah, you got a few women over there that are dating Western women, lesbians in Japan now. You got this, that, the other. Brothers, Japanese don't change. The stuff that they deal with, that they put up with, is what we call a trend. Japanese are very trendy. It's a very trendy society as far as stepping outside of their culture. But once it's all said and done, they going to get right back into what they're used to getting back into. The Japanese way, the Japanese culture. It's a culture that has been developed for 250 plus years uninterrupted and more than that. So these people are not just faking it. They're not just out there just to say, "Oh, look, I said something to you too." Mark that, right there. Ooh, girl, did you say something? Yep, I said something to him. Like they do in the West. "Oh, yeah, make sure you say something to him." This ain't Japan, brothers. I told you, brothers. I'm telling it all. My mouth is wide open. I'm not hiding nothing. I just got back from Japan. Brothers, I was being interviewed at a station on the way back. I happened to be interviewed on TV What does that tell you about society? When we live in a country where a lot of people in America will only interview you if you fit the mold. They don't want to interview an intelligent brother. They want to interview a homeless looking brother. You all know what I'm talking about. They'll turn around and interview the white girl or the Asian guy with the Lamborghini up in San Francisco, like they just did the other day, or the white girl with the Starbucks, and then turn around and interview an old brother that looked like he's homeless. They're not going to interview the intelligent people. But in Japan, what did they do? They interviewed me, brothers, me and my whole family, and put it on Japanese TV nationwide with no shame. Brothers, that's Japan. Brothers, that's Japan. And that's why my topic is Japan is the right. I'm just looking at my notes, but Japan is the right place for a black man. Period. Look, I'm not here to knock other countries. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not here to tell brothers that, hey, you don't need to be going to the Netherlands or Brazil or anything like that, brothers. But to me, the country that I know the most, that I love the most, that I have the most experience in, the language I speak, the culture that I've been studying since I was 6 years old, the nation that I've been in and out of since '85 is Japan. And brothers, I got all my love in the world from my man Theo and anybody else that's special on Japan. But I'm here to tell you right now, I know Japan, brothers, like the back of my hand. I know Japan. Now, I'm gonna go down this list. And we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna open this panel up too. But here's the thing: Japan is the right place for a black man, and here's why. So, brothers, what I'm about to tell you will blow your mind. Okay, um, it's like nothing. If you've never experienced this, and most of you haven't, when you get over there, you're not gonna want to leave. Sorry, brothers, you're not gonna want to leave. And there's Jay. What's up? I'm saying you see the brothers up in here. Don't worry, you brothers gonna be in the panel. What's up, Jay Takashi? Nothing but love for you, brother Dez, Mufasa, Sean Camp. Nothing but love for you, brothers. Y'all know that, man. Dez, you know my brothers. Y'all, I don't blow no smoke on no black man's ass. You know what I'm talking about, brothers. What I'm trying to tell you is this. My daughter just fell down. What I'm trying to tell you is this, brothers. I just got back off of a beautiful 2-week, 3-day trip. Okay. And I rode the Shinkansen 8 times. 8 times, brothers. I was back and forth 8 times on the Shinkansen. And I'll explain how I was able to do that later. Okay. So, I took my family and my in-laws, and I took them like to Kyoto and Osaka. I took them to Joetsu City, in Niigata. And I went ahead and I stayed in 3 hotels. 2 of the hotels, I paid for my in-laws as well too. I took good care of my in-laws. Brothers, that's what you have to do. Because my in-laws have taken care of me over the years. Whenever I go to Japan and we stay in Japanese inns and eat out and whatnot. My in-law, my father-in-law was always forking, bam, bam, bam. He was always paying everything. And I didn't do this just because he did that, because that's not how he is. See, brothers, that's not how Japanese are. They're not gonna have me say, "Oh, hey man, I'm paying for you because you pay for me." You never say that to a Japanese person. It insults them. They are doing this out of the kindness of their hearts, brothers, because that's what kind of people they are. That's what they are, brothers. They're not here to blow smoke up your ass. They're here to be truthful and sincere to you. Now, I'm sure you've seen the pictures I put up on Facebook, the videos. Some of my videos, man, were kind of shaky, man. I was trying to get my videos right, man. But when I get back over there, I'm gonna make my videos right. I was going a little bit too fast, and I noticed I was like, my wife was like, "Baby, your videos don't look that good." Some of them, I said, "Okay, thank you for your honesty, baby." She's always gonna be honest with me. Just not gonna be honest with her. But brothers, here's one of the big reasons. Now I'm gonna get into this why Japan thing. Number one, Japanese love everything about the black man. Everything about the black man. Everywhere I was going, because I was dressed, I had a nice wool trench coat on, hats, boots, jean, nice. I was looking nice. Everywhere I was going, the women were like, "Oh my God, Kakui." Kakui in Japan means he's coolish. He's cool. He looks good. Steki and Kakui. So if you Steki usually means you're formally nice. Kakui means you're a classy dude. So you hear them say Kakui to black men a lot. They love everything about us. They love our music. They listen to jazz more than they listen to in the West. They appreciate our music. If you get a guy over there on the rap scene speaking all his words that he speak, they're not gonna dish the brother. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, he's a performer. He's performing." It's none of this. Oh, we don't like the words you using, or why are you using this? Why are you saying that? It ain't none of this. It ain't none of this, brothers. They appreciate a brother. They appreciate the essence of a black man. I'm telling you, this is the big brothers. Y'all don't know. You don't know what it's like to walk down the street of Tokyo or Osaka or Kyoto, to walk down those streets and have these people eyeball you, even though you're not looking, but you can feel their eyes on you in a positive way. You go into a store, you purchase something, you automatically feel the good vibe. You don't feel any negativity towards you. You feel good. You feel proud. You feel comfortable walking down the streets as a beautiful, strong black man that you are in the world, in your essence, in your zone. Brothers, when I was walking down the street in Tokyo, man, I was in a zone. I was in a zone, brothers. And I'm trying to keep my words on the regular here tonight. But I'm an adult, so I will use adult conversations. And if I can repeat myself, I was in a motherfucking zone, brothers. I'm serious. You know how you in your cities and when I walk, I have my earbuds in and I got the jazz playing. And brothers, we always affiliate that fusion with the tall buildings and the architecture and everything like that. Me and DC had a conversation on that earlier. And so you walk down the street, you beep into some serious jams, and you got the buildings and the scenery, and brothers, we know how to take it all in. The food, the smell, the aura, the people, the atmosphere. That's what brothers are good at. We're good at taking that in. And we live off of that. Because you know why, brothers? We're tigers. And like I put on my Facebook, that's my motto. I don't have a New Year resolution. I'm the tiger. I'm gonna hunt and I'm gonna eat. That's my thing. Every day I wake up in my life, that's my theme. I'm the tiger. I'm going to hunt. I'm going to eat. That's the way it is. That's the way brothers got to be. Ain't no excuse. Ain't none of this cry boy baby bullshit. Brothers are brothers. So, brothers, they love everything about us. They love us so much, they put us on the news. They love us so much, they interview us with our families because they know that the rating's gonna be higher. That's why they look for brothers like that. They found a black man with a Japanese woman and two beautiful children, and they interviewed us because I told you, brothers, every Japanese girl in Japan wants a black baby and a black husband. No matter what they say, that's what they want. That's their number one. Another reason, brother, why? I told you they love our music. They love our masculinity, brothers. They love our masculinity. I don't know how many times Japanese women were telling me that walking around with me made them feel safe. All the years I've been in and out of Japan, lived there. They always tell me, we ain't got to worry about nothing with you because we know you're going to protect us. They love the masculinity. And they right. Nobody, and I mean nobody, fucks with brothers. Nobody in Japan. Nobody fucks with brothers. I was walking down the streets of Tokyo, big city, 30 million people in the metropolitan area. I'm walking down the streets, brothers, and I'm trying to be polite, but I walk fast. My coat is open, it's flying, the super fly shit. My coat's flying open as I'm walking down, passing people at 40 miles an hour. People moving out of my way. They don't even want to get in my way. They see a nice, strong black man with confidence walking down the street. They pick the energy up real quick. They know, oh man, this brother's tall. He looks good. He's stylish, and he know where he going. See, the thing about Japan, you a brother, you walking down the street, You got to know where you're going. And what I'm getting at is this, brothers. And I'm laughing, man, because y'all know what I'm saying. Man, we already know we got the aura. You know what I'm saying? We already know how to behave in that environment. We've been doing it for years. So it's natural when you get to Tokyo, when you get to Japan. So don't try to alter nothing. Brothers, don't change nothing about yourself. Be in your element. Be who you are. Because you're going to get the love. Trust me. You're going to get the love. Take it from Mr. B. You're going to get the love. Okay. So, another thing, brothers. And I love telling this one because I told this to Derek the other day to my boy DT and to Mufasa. Brothers, no police brutality. Now you might have some brothers throwing some videos out there. Oh, hey, this policeman was harassing me and all this other bull. Brothers, the police have more than one role in Japan, by the way. They also are there to check immigration. So they will ask a foreigner, what are you here for, once in a while. But brothers, I'm here to tell you. I walk by quite a few Kobans with police boxes, and I ain't never had a cop come out there and bother me. And in my 11 years of living in Japan, I never had a problem with the police. Ever. In fact, brothers, check this out. So here I am at Asakusa, because we stayed in Asakusa, which is the number one tourist spot in Tokyo. But we wasn't in the crowded part. Our hotel was probably about 10 minutes away from all the crowds. But we happened to be around the crowds that morning, that afternoon. And I had to use the restroom. So, I walk up to the Koban. You got a Koban right at Kaminari Mon, right there. And I walk up and I see 3 or 4 cops in the room. And I walk up, the one lady opened the door. She was beautiful. She was in a police uniform. She was absolutely beautiful. And she looked me in my eyes. I looked in her eyes. I said, "Hey, excuse me." I said, "Sumimasen, o tearai wa doko desu ka?" She's like Japanese. Sumimasen. You always see me, excuse me. Tearai's bathroom. Doko desu ka? Where's the bathroom? And she said, "Oh, yes, out there on the right," that kind of thing. She came out. And then she walked with me a little bit. And she was pointing. She could have stayed in there and just, because she did tell me how to get there. But she came out because she felt the vibe. And she was probably like, "I'm with a brother. I need to come out here and help this brother out." And that's what she did. She was very helpful, brothers. Very, very. Like I said, a single dude, I would have been like, "Hey, what time you get off?" And she would have been like, "Oh, I get off about 7." What is it? All right, let's meet up Starbucks somewhere. Just talk. I just want to talk to you. She would have been like, "Okay, don't tell nobody." I said, "Okay, cool." They like to keep this stuff discreet in Japan. You never let the job know what they're doing because they got to go back to work. Remember, you are a foreigner there. You just jump on the airplane and you can forget. She's there. She lives there. She's staying there. So they're going to keep it as discreet as they can unless something else is going to come out of this. That's the way it works in Japan. Brothers, that's to your advantage. That's why they got love motels everywhere. All right? But that's what I'm saying, brother. That was my experience with the police. They were all over us, brother. They're all over us. Another thing, brothers, you get treated with respect everywhere you go. They treat you exactly the same way they treat the next person in Japan. You get treated with respect everywhere you go. Nobody, and I mean nobody, looks down on you. You get treated with respect. Another reason why you should be in Japan, brothers. Another reason why you should be in Japan. That's right. Thanks, Mufasa. Yeah, brothers, get those likes up because, by the way, brothers, if we don't get the likes up, I'm not going to disclose what I've spent, what my trip cost me. Because I was going to mention, thanks for reminding me, Mufasa. On this stream, I'm going to, um, you know, let brothers know what I spent on my trip, and then in my group, I'm actually going to have the breakdown of what I spent, so brothers can see exactly what's going on. I told you, brothers, I ain't messing around. I told you, brothers, I'm keeping it real, and I told you, brothers, I'm gonna tell it all. So anyway, the service, brothers, Another reason why, let me go back to this. Another reason why you should be in Japan, brothers, it's very safe. Brothers, brothers, me and my wife and my boy and my daughter are walking down the street at 10 o'clock at night. It's dark in Asakusa. Did I have a worry in the world? No. Is somebody gonna come up to and bother me and my family? No. I've seen women walking around by themselves on their cell phones, doing whatever they want to do. Nobody bothers them, brothers. Japan is very safe. Because let me tell you why Japan is very safe. And you may hear once in a while of some idiot doing this or the prime minister getting shot or whatever the case may be. That's because they have a reason and they have a cause that they believe in. But on the average days, no, they're very safe. Because you know why, brothers? To hit someone in Japan is like shooting a gun at them in the States. That's how they treat that. A Japanese does not want to be nothing to do with anybody that commits any crime. You know how it is when the West, oh man, yo, you did a dime up in Susanville. You the man, baby. Yeah, you did 10 years of Rikers Island, motherfucker. That don't work in Japan. They might want to hear you sing about it, but that ain't cool in Japan. It ain't cool being a suspect or being an ex-con. That ain't cool in Japan because, like I told you, Japan is a segment of society. Ex-cons hang out with ex-cons. Professionals hang out with professionals. Very rarely do Japanese step outside of their group. Your job when you get there is to see where you fall. That's pretty much going to be the most challenge you're going to have in Japan is seeing where you fall within society. And trust me, that's an easy task compared to the bullshit a black man got to put up with in this country every single day. Another reason why you want to live or you want to be in Japan, why Japan is for the black man, brothers? The service is very good and sincere. Brothers, the service is so good. When you go and you ask a person in the department store, like my mom in law and my wife, they don't know the trains well because they don't take trains in Niigata. They drive everywhere. But here we were in Kyoto, and you know, I can get around. I know the trains, but I was just laying back because I wanted to see, hey, y'all Japanese, y'all pretty much know where to go. They didn't. So what happens? My mom-in-law goes ask this lady at the department store. You know, we're trying to get back to the Hotel Grandview, Kyoto Station, and this lady was like, okay, you know, um, she gave her all the directions and then some. See, Japan is not like this. It's not like, oh, excuse me, do you know how I get to the train station from here? Yeah, just go straight and turn left. That ain't Japan, brothers. Uh-uh. They're like, yes, you go straight. You have to pass. You're gonna pass the store on the left. It's called such and such. You're gonna see a sign on the right. And as soon as you see that sign, you make a left turn. As soon as you make the left turn, you'll see the store across the street that you need to go to, and then right below that store, and you'll see you'll be see some stairs. You walk down the stairs, and you'll see the subway station. That is how they do it in Japan. They are very sincere. They don't half-ass. They don't what they call in Japan. And Theo would probably laugh if you see this. They don't shoot the hampa, which is half-ass do shit. They make sure that you're gonna get to where you need to go, and they're very courteous. It's none of like none of. My wife said she asked a police officer in Seattle when she first got here directions to go to the art museum, and he's like, I don't know where's that. And I told my daddy that. My daddy was a police. My dad said that ain't a good cop. Cops should know everywhere. They should know wherever. They should know their whole beat. Period. You a cop on a horse. You gonna be like, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? That's your goddamn job to find out where everything is at. But that's another story. So yes, brother, they are very sincere and they are very helpful and they always want to help the brothers. Always. Because that gives them an excuse to look at you in your face, to get close to you, to smell your cologne, to even have a whimper of a chance of you asking them out on a date. Brothers, I'm telling you, this is Japan. Another reason why you need to be, why Japan is for the black man. This is a man's world. It's a man's world, brother. No matter what they got on the books, everything is equal. We get all that. But, brothers, it's a man's world. And let me explain to you something here. Let me explain to you why it's a man's world. You see, in Japan, a lot of women cannot make it on their own after a certain age. So they know that when they get in the 50s and 60s and they start living on that old people pay, it ain't enough for them. It ain't enough. Just like it is in the States, the same women gonna do the same shit. It's not enough. They women know that you need a man. They know they need a man. Because they know no matter how equal they are, they're not gonna make as much as a man's making. They're not gonna have the power that a man has. That's why it's a man's world. It is a man's world in Japan, brothers. Don't let them fool you. Don't let some Western bitch get her ass up on the news and be like, "Oh, the Japanese women are getting tired of the way things work, and they really don't like it." No, she's full of shit. She's just trying to perpetrate. She's just trying to blow something up that isn't right. It is a man's world over there. And let me tell you, let me give you an example why it's a man's world. Let me tell you the proof that's a man's world. You saw that interview that we did in Japan, that we were interviewing, my wife and I. Well, when they started interviewing us, the reporter talked to my wife first, and then he talked to my son, and he spoke to me last. But when they edited it, guess who came out talking first? It was me. Because you know why? Because I'm the man. And they recognize that because they know that if you put a woman up there first and talking, the ratings ain't gonna get the ratings gonna get low because men are in control in Japan. So that's why as a black man, you walking down the street, you feel even better because you know it's a man's world. Excuse me. Take a swig of this wine here. Another reason why Japan is for the black man. Brothers. That's right, Des. You're right. Thank goodness that my virus isn't devouring for Japan. Like I said, 250 years of uninterrupted um, experience to build your culture up. They don't care. But brothers, let me tell you this next thing here. The women in Japan are easy to please. Brothers. You know how y'all seen that thing? I think Mufasa might have put this up or DC where they had this girl slap this brother at an Applebee's because she got mad because he took her to an Applebee's and she didn't know she wanted to go somewhere else. That don't happen in Japan, brothers. That don't happen in Japan. Women are very easy to please. They're very simple. They are some of the easiest women in the world to please. If you go on a date with a Japanese girl, man, when you go, if brothers, you black, this is when. When you go on a date with a Japanese female, you don't have to take her to all these fancy restaurants and spend all this fancy money on her. No. Like I said, you can just simply say, "Hey, can you meet me at I saw this nice little restaurant on the way over here. I want to eat there. Let's go." You don't ask a woman where she want to go. No. You tell her, "Meet me over there." It's a man's world, remember? You don't ask, you tell. If they don't like it, they might say, "Well, I don't like that restaurant because I had some bad luck there before my girlfriend threw up all over the place." Okay, no problem. Let's go there then. Don't, okay, where do you want to go? No. Okay, let's go here. That's the way it's got to work. It's so easy to please. You don't have to spend all this money on them. I've been married to my wife. We've been married 15 and a half years. Every time I go out to try to get my wife something nice, I get my wife something nice, but then I want to get her something nice. She says, "Oh, no, baby, no, I don't need that, baby. Don't spend all that. No, baby, I don't need all that. Why are you getting all that for me? I don't need that. I don't need that." My wife always tells me, "I'd rather go somewhere with you and the family and then have a good time than you spend all that money on me and just sit at home and look at it." That's how she is. That's how women are in Japan. They rather spend time with their family out being somewhere nice and having a good experience than just getting a stupid ass $3,000 Louis Vuitton bag so they can wear it once or twice a year. That's not the Japanese female. They're very simple. You can have a good time with them. You can take them on a date and just go hang out in the park all day and talk. They could care less. They are more about the experience, brothers. About the experience. Another reason why Japan is a place for the black man. You can date in Japan vigorously with no strings attached. Now let you know what's going on with this. Let me let you know. Let me clarify this shit. Okay? So, what I mean by this is this. When you are dating women in Japan, you need to let them know right off the bat where you stand in this relationship. What I mean by that? You don't bring a woman back to your place. No. You go to a love motel if you're going to get the groove on. You don't bring these women back to your place. They don't even need to know where you live because they're not your girlfriend. You have not made that call, and it's not up to them. It's up to you. Now, if they call themselves wanting to invite you over to their house to cook you a meal, that's fine. But like I said before, if they're not your girlfriend, I would politely say, well, you know what? Maybe we can do that another time. Right now, we're gonna go here tonight, and then after that, we're gonna hit that love motel up. You want to get out of that because you're not trying to get to be her boyfriend yet. Because one thing, brothers, I want to warn you about these females. Once you get attached to them, it's very hard to get rid of them, and it's very hard for you to not want to be with them because they are so accommodating. And they know that once they get a man, they are going to try their best not to let that man go. That is just the nature of the beast. That is Japan, brothers. That is the Japanese woman in a nutshell. That is the nature of the beast. They know they don't have a lot of chances to meet a nice man. Another reason why you can find a nice woman from a good family that's built to last. I'm living proof. Brothers, I'm living proof. I'm living proof. Because, like I said, my wife and I, we've been married 15 and a half years. And you right, DC, it's hard to shake, brother. We've been married 15 and a half years, man. And, I always tell brothers this. Like I said before in the previous one, you know, you can date vigorously in Japan, right? The reason why you date vigorously in Japan with no strings attached, because you trying to ascertain the type of relationship that you would like to find yourself permanently involved in. All right? Because brothers, y'all may have your different tastes. Everybody got different tastes. Me, I'm more of the rosy red cheek, milky white, nice rack female with the smooth skin. That's just me. That's who I'm married. That's who I'm attracted to. Other brothers may be attracted to the one with the suntan and the skin that's not so good, or whatever the case may be, or the breasts aren't that big, or no breasts, whatever. No. Everybody got no ass. Everybody got their own different taste. But you got to know what you like. You got to know what you're after, and you need to sample every aspect of that society because it is there for the taking. Even the Japanese female know that if she was a black man, she'd be doing this exact same thing you doing because she think you're crazy not to want to sleep around. If why you got that beautiful body, why you're a beautiful man, why would you not want to sleep around? They don't understand it when a brother says, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm just okay with you." They don't understand that, brother. That's why I'm saying they don't understand that because they know that if they were you, they would be doing exactly what they choose to do. That is the mindset of the Japanese female. Another reason why. Like I said, okay, let me get back to that. You can find a nice woman and raise a good family that's built to last. And Japanese go through a lot of different things. They're always on the move, right? You hear these stories. Oh, they get married, they have kids, they don't have sex anymore. Oh, blah 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 blah. That depends on the individual, just like any other society. It depends on the individual. You know, brothers. Let me give you an example, man. when you're in Japan, you want to give yourself a few, especially if you move there. Now, when you're visiting, it's a little bit harder to do, but when you move there, like I'm schooling this brother from England who just got the English teaching job up in Kumamoto. He was this joker. He's laughing last week when we were in Tokyo. I didn't hook up with him yet, but he missed me by a day. But he was like, Tony, man, Tony, these women, they're so young, they're 18, 19 years old. Why they only the 18, 19-year-old come up to me, man? Why? And I'm thinking to myself, what? Why not? They're 18. They're legal. They're wet. They're legal. They're 18. Why not? You ain't got to take them to your room. That's why you got love motels. That's what you do. And they're even easier to take care of. Shoot. You take it to Starbucks and Mr. Donut, you're good to go. See? Treat it with a little respect, you're good. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say is this. So when you get there, right, and I told this brother already, let your eyes get acclimated to the beauty. Because oftentimes, brothers, I give you want to use a gauge, don't go out with women that the white boys go out with. Look at who they go out with. They're usually the women they choose aren't the most attractive females. Y'all know that. You know why? Because he himself doesn't have the confidence that a brother has. He himself, I know a lot of white boys over there when I was teaching. They were like, oh man, I'm lucky I got this one. Oh my God, she's beautiful. I'm so lucky. You get most of them like that. I'm not saying all because I might get a white boy up here. It's like, no, I'm not. All right, you probably not. Knock it head. But most of the ones I met over there are, like I told you guys, and people know on the stream, we don't pull no punches, man. You could be white, Indian, Pakistani. We don't give a damn. We're going to talk about you like a dog anyway. We're not going to disrespect you. We're not going to jump on you. But facts are facts. And you look at a brother who's been in Japan 11 years and known this country since 85. White boys over there don't seem to attract the right women because they're going at them with that, oh, I'm lucky I got you approach. You ain't lucky you got nobody as if you're a man. They lucky they got you. You need to flip it around. It's like that movie, The Boomerang. Like my boy said. You don't let that pussy whip you. You whip that pussy. That's what he said in Boomerang. That's how it works. That's the way it's always supposed to work. You don't need to be chasing them. They supposed to be chasing you. And that's what they do. And that's the way it is. It's a man's world. It is. We don't care what they say in the West. We don't give a shit what you say. In fact, I was walking down the street, brothers, and there was a lot of Western women. I didn't pay them time, didn't give them the time of day, didn't even look at them. I seen a couple sisters. I just blew by them like they was nothing, like they was a hair. And they seen the tiger roll by them and didn't even pay attention to them. I didn't even worry about them. Whenever I rested, I would sit there and, like the tiger do, just clean his nuts in front of him. Tiger don't care. I'm the tiger. I'm going to hunt and I'm going to eat. And you ain't the meal I'm going after. That's how it was, brothers. That's how it was. And they was like tripping too, because they was like, damn, this brother ain't even looking at me. Well, the white girls, fine as they could look, from France or some damn where. Damn, he ain't even noticed I was here. Why? Why should I notice you? When I got a dime there from Japan, I got another dime over there. I got a dime there. I got a dime there. I got a dime there. And all I got to do is ask her a question. And she going to stop whatever she's doing. And she going to answer my question for me. And she going to make sure that I get to where I need to go. And she ain't got to fake it. And ain't no, oh, I can be a good girl for one day. Shit. Oh, I can be a good wife. No. Oh, I can be submissive. No. It's in their blood. That's right, brother. Ice cold. That's right, Des. Ice cold. Ice cold. We ain't got to. And brothers, you ain't got to apologize to nobody. Nobody. None. You know what my scene was, man? Whenever I would take a Japanese girl out. So I get over there, man, and we do our business. We go to the Love Motel. And I would always let them leave first. So, wake up, you hit it some more, you get in the shower or not. And then I'm laying back in the bed, man. I'm going back to sleep for a minute. And they got to go to work or whatever they got to go. I just look at them and say, all right. Well, yeah, you have a nice day. See you. That's it. You gonna call me? They want to know when you're gonna get back to them. That's the thing. And all I used to say was, "Look, I'll call you when I call you. I'll see you when I see you." All right. And a few days later, I'm walking down the street with somebody else, and I might see them walk by. You know what's so cool about Japan? They're not gonna say shit. And then a few days later, you back with them again because you didn't take them to your place. You took them to a love motel. That's the way it works in Japan, brothers. That's the way it works. Brothers in the West, we can't fathom that. Our attitude is, oh my God, man, what's she going? What happened if this girl see me with this other girl? What happened if this other girl see me with this other girl? They don't give a fuck in Japan. To a Japanese, sex is like water. It's overblown in the West. It's way too overblown, right? Malik, what's up, Malik? What's up, brother? Number love from brother Malik. What's up? It's overblown, brothers, in Japan. I mean, in the West, sex is overblown. Japanese girls ain't got time for this. They got to go to work. They got to eat. They got to sleep. Yeah, to them it's like, okay, yeah, you made love to me, so what? It was good. I know it was good because I expected it to be good. Great. Next. So you got to be double that. Double that. And don't they ask who the other girl was? No, no, they don't. They could give a damn. You know why they don't ask? Because she wasn't coming out of your apartment. She was on her way to a love motel with you. That's right, Jay. It's key. Don't forget, it's key. The love motel says, bitch, I ain't your boyfriend. That's what it says. That's what it says, brothers. Another reason why Japan's good for the black man. Oh, let me finish up one more thing. So the girl from the good family. So brothers, never, and I'm going to repeat this over and over again, never. And it's funny because I had this, it got confirmed by my father-in-law. We had this talk when I was in Japan last week. Never marry a Japanese girl from a broken family. Never. You are literally vetting these women, brothers. Remember, when you're dating these women, you are vetting them. Yes, you are. If you could line these women up in front of you and ask them questions when the other women stand around, they would not give a damn. They would be like, okay, well, he's just checking us out. He's just checking out the product. You goddamn right I'm checking out the product. Because the woman I marry is not going to be no loser. She needs to be built to last. And the way that they're built to last is if they need to come from a solid family. And another thing, brothers, and I know some brothers are going out with women that are half Japanese and whatnot, whatever it says. I get that. I highly advise you, brothers, to only date Japanese women in Japan. To only date Japanese women in Japan. Only Japanese. Not no Korean, not no Chinese. I don't care how bad they're in the Thai, Vietnamese, Filipino. You want to date them? Go to their own country and date them. But not in Japan, brothers. Not in Japan. Because you are in a nation of dimes coming from good families. You don't need to waste your talents on somebody from the Philippines or from Vietnam in Japan. And I got nothing against the women in the Philippines and Vietnam. They're beautiful women, and I'm sure they would make great wives too. They some of them do, a lot of them do. Because I know a lot of friends married to Filipinos and Vietnamese. They make great wives. All I'm saying is that when you're in Japan, just like okay, let's make it fair. When you're in Vietnam, you don't want to date a Japanese woman in Vietnam. You want to date a Vietnamese woman. When you're in the Philippines, you don't want a Japanese. You want a Filipino. It's hard to explain, but it's only because they are already established in their own country and they can behave the way they want to behave. They can get the things that they need to get to keep themselves attractive. They know where to go. They know what food to eat. They know how to get things. They know how to get in out of a jam in their own. They're in their element is why I'm telling you this. I'm not saying this to be, like anti this and anti that, because that's not it. I'm not a racist. I'm just letting you know that when you're in Japan, Japanese only, please, because that's the best way to go. Trust me, based on experience. Another reason why, brothers, you can raise your children there. You can raise your children in Japan. You're going to run into some situation where, they don't like black and Japanese or white and Japanese mix, but that's getting few and far between now. And you can nip that in the ass from day one. It's like I tell you, like for example, when our son starts Japanese school again, I mean, not again, but when he starts Japanese school later in his life, My wife and I are already on the up and up. See, and that's another thing. You got to be on the same page as your wife. I know me and DT talked about this. You can't be telling your kids one thing or doing thing one way and your wife doing the other way. It's got to be your way, only your way. That's it. If she's not on your page, then she ain't on your page. She ain't on your page. Guess what? Here you go. If she's not on your page, she's not in your book. That's the way you got to be. So they got to be on point with you. In other words, you're going to think differently, but you got to be on the same page when it comes to solving shit. And so my wife and I already decided. The minute we hear that my son's running into some issues in the school, we're going right up to the school. We're going to talk to the parents of the person that may have thought that he could get away with, harming our son or talking bad to our son. We're going to nip that shit in the ass right away. And we're going to get the teacher involved too and the principal. See, we already got that figured out. Well, so what I'm saying is this. It may or may not happen, but if you're on top of it, Japanese, one thing I know about them, they do not like being shamed. They do not like being shamed. That's their weakness, their kryptonite. See, American, we base our system on guilt. Japanese face it on shame. See, they base it on shame. Okay, another thing is you can own property in Japan, brothers. Yes, you can own property. I was just over there and we were talking to the builder, and that's a pretty interesting situation because they told me things about how to get loans and whatnot. Yeah, you got the money, brother. You can get the loan. You may not get, depending on what type of income. Like for example, if you get retirement income, then you can't get a regular mortgage. You got to get a different type of loan with maybe like a little bit higher rate, like maybe a half a point or whatever. But it's still like a mortgage, and you pay it like a mortgage and everything like that. It's just they get creative. Trust me, there's creative processes in Japan. But in a nutshell, you can buy a home, especially when you're married to a Japanese. And if you're not married to a Japanese, you still buy it. But it's advisable for you to not buy a home until you find a wife that you're really serious about, because that means you're going to be dealing with her home area. Why buy a house in Sapporo when you fall in love with a bitch in Kyushu? That don't make no sense. All right? Or a woman in Kyushu. Another reason why. It's very clean, brothers. You seen my videos, pictures. Japan is very clean. They don't mess around, brothers. They clean. They clean. I mean, every night they come home, they're taking that hot bath. You basically what it is you go into the big room with the bathtub in it and the shower next to it. And you shower off, you soap, you shower, you shave, whatever you got to do. Clean your ass, soap off, rinse off, and then you soak in that nice hot tub, brothers. But they clean, your body clean, but the home is clean. They are clean. The streets are clean. You've seen Japan. Japan's clean, brothers. It is clean. It is clean. The transportation system is very efficient. You've seen Tokyo. You don't need a car in these big metropolises like Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Kobe, Sapporo. You don't need a car. Although Sapporo you might want to need because you might want to drive out because Hokkaido is pretty big. But you don't, for the most part, you don't need a car in those cities. Now, when my wife is from Niigata, you need cars because they drive everywhere. They got trains, but they have no subways. So therefore, you have to drive everywhere. But regardless, the buses are really good. They're on time, they're efficient, they're safe, they're clean. You see me film those trains coming up. Did you see any graffiti on them? No. Were they clean? Yes. So the public transportation to me, and I've been around the world, guys, Japan has the best public transportation system in the world, bar none. The healthcare is excellent. So you don't have to pay all the arm and out the ass for healthcare. For example, you go to the emergency room, you're not writing the check. You use an ambulance, you're not writing the check. You pay into a system. It depends on your family size. You pay like a small amount into your city office because the way it works in Japan is, whatever city you live in, you register at either that city office or that ward office, and you establish your health insurance through them. Everything is done locally. The taxes are done locally. Everything's locally, and you establish yourself. You establish your lifestyle, your way of life, how you're supporting your family, and bam, from then on, you're taken care of. So it ain't like the states where your son cut his leg. Oh shit, I gotta go to emergency room. Your mother gonna charge me now? Oh my god, no. How much is my insurance gonna cover? None of that thoughts doesn't go through your head, brothers. No, in Japan, you don't have to worry about that shit. Another reason why Japan is for the black man, brothers. It's a beautiful country, brothers. Oh, you've seen the pictures. Oh my goodness, brothers. Everybody think like with behind me. Oh, Tokyo, you got all the big buildings, the modern skyline, the skyscrapers, and the neon lights. Yo, it's beautiful. No, brothers. When you step outside the cities and you go to many, and even in the cities, you go to many beautiful shrines and temples or parks or hiking trails or the beaches, the mountains, the ski lodges, the onsens, the hot springs everywhere. I mean, it's a beautiful country, brothers. These islands, it's a beautiful, beautiful country, brother. Japan is a beautiful country. I'm telling you, yes. And you're right, Mufasa, ranked number 3 in the world for healthcare, brother. Yes. DC said, "Wow, that's most definitely good. I know, especially in SC South Asia, you cannot own a house. Yep, you can own a house in Japan. Um, it's a beautiful country, brother, with something unique to each region, prefecture, or local town. Now, here's what I'm saying. Here's why I'm saying that unique. You know how in the U.S. you could be in Minnesota and you go to say Wisconsin or you go to DC or you go to Idaho, you pretty much gonna see the same shit. And what I mean by that is, yeah, the scenery will be different, but when you walk into a restaurant or you go into a store, they're gonna have the same national bullshit, crafts, product, somebody potato chips, something beer, the same shit I could have got in Dallas, I can get in Minnesota and all this other bullshit, right? It ain't like that way in Japan. Yeah, you're gonna have some national stuff, but for the most part, when you go, like we go to Niigata and we eat, a lot of those foods are local and only local to Niigata. You might go into Kumamoto. They might have a lot of the same like Japanese stuff, but then guess what? They're gonna have this thing and this dish or this flavor that's only unique to Kumamoto. That's why they got, oh, Kyoto's famous for this, or Osaka's famous for okonomiyaki and takoyaki, which is these octopus balls that they put in batter that they're hot when you put them in your mouth. You gotta be careful, they're so good, and they're famous in Osaka. Okonomiyaki, the same thing. It's famous in Osaka. Or you might go to some soba from some place. Hokkaido's known for their dairy products and their good food. Everywhere in Japan, it has a unique flavor and a unique essence and a unique food about it. And that's something that you can't take away from Japan. That's something that the US just doesn't have. Like I said, you could be in Dallas, go to a restaurant, oh, they got burger. What do you see mostly in America? You see breweries every goddamn where. Good beer, bad fucking food. That's what you basically see. Is good beer, bad food. Honestly, that's it. You'll see the Starbucks, you'll see good beer, bad food. You may have your special, you may have a once in a while, oh, come on down to Texas Bob's. He got hot ribs. He got this. He got that. And guess what? You go to Kansas City, you get the same shit. You go to Denver, you get the same kind of shit. It may be just a different name, but the same shit, right? Well, in Japan, don't work that way. You go to Texas Bob's, you might go to, and another thing about Texas Bob's, by the way, in Japanese, and I forgot to put these pictures up. My father-in-law took me to a Western style restaurant. We walked in this place, and then I thought I was back in the old West days. Japanese have all kind of restaurants. They have better restaurants in Tokyo that are French than they are. They got better French restaurants in Tokyo than they do in Paris. Yes. So they don't mess around. When if they're gonna make it, it's gonna be good. So if you walk into an American diner in Nagoya, which I used to go to sometimes, I walk in there, they got the big burgers, the fries. It's all good meat. You know it's safe to eat, and it's good. They don't half ass do shit in Japan. They do the shit all out. So that's what I mean. Another reason why Japan is good for the black man. And you brothers gonna love this. The cost of living is very, very affordable. Very affordable. Now, yes, same brother. Italian restaurants too. Any kind of Italian restaurant, Brazilian, yes, they cook it up nice. But let me tell you about the cost of living. I give you an example. This brother from England, I'm not gonna mention his name, but he's over there. He's teaching at Nova. And Nova, they pay a base salary of roughly 160,000 yen, which is probably about $1,100 a month. But he can live in Japan on that money. People always assume that Japan is expensive. Japan is not expensive, brothers. The problem is America is over fucking priced. That's what it is. That's what's up. You see my video on the pit stop in Japan, where I showed you the drinks and everything in there, how cheap those drinks were. Like I said, in 1985, when I first got to Japan, I used to get these little coffee drinks in the machine for 100 yen. Now, today, almost 40 years later, I can get the same coffee drink for like 110, 120, 130 yen. That's it. The prices don't change. It was another thing. Inflation is very controllable in Japan. Inflation is not an issue in Japan. No, compared to the states at 8, 9%, no. Japan might be 2.5, 3% when it's bad like it is now. Well, guess what? When inflation goes back down, it's gonna go back down to point minus point whatever in Japan. Prices don't change. Your money will go a long way in Japan, brothers. I don't understand what everybody's waiting for. Your money will go a long way in Japan. The only drawback I think brothers have on this platform is they can't speak Japanese fluent. But guess what? You can always learn. You can always learn, brothers. If it's worth it, you being with that woman you found that you in love with to learn that language, oh, you gonna learn. You walk around with that milky white, you gonna learn. Trust me. And she bowing to every move. I give you an example. A reason why you want to be there too. So here I am. We at the buffet in Kyoto. We stayed in Kyoto 3 nights. And we had the morning buffet in the hotel. My father-in-law purposely sat on the table by the window, right? So where he can't just get up easily. He has to get up. He can get up on the end, but the men sit on the end of the table in Japan, by the way, right? Or the edge. His wife was sitting on the other side, closer to like the buffet parts and whatnot, right across from my wife. I'm sitting across from my father-in-law. My son's next to me. So he's sitting up there, he's eating his meal, and he's having a good time. We have a good conversation, everything like that. And his wife, she's eating. And, he got his cup of coffee in his hand. Well, no, for one day he had a cup of coffee, and the other one he didn't have his coffee yet. So he's eating his food. And then all of a sudden he just stops eating and looks over at his wife and says, "Coffee." She gets up. And it's all in one movement. There wasn't none of this. He didn't get this look that the sisters give you like, huh, you want me to go get his coffee for him? No. It was no attitude. It was nothing. She just got up and she went and got his coffee for the man. And she brought it back and she didn't say nothing. And he didn't say nothing. And she said, "Here's your coffee." No thank you, nothing. It's like, you don't have to say thank you because it's his wife. He said, "Here's some coffee." That is Japan, brothers. That is the way life is in Japan. It's a man's world. That is the way life is in Japan. They're not trying to be a wife. They are wifeable. They're not trying to be, okay, let me give him his coffee for him, like the sisters be bragging about. Oh, let me give him some. Let me give him his little coffee, make him happy. All right, baby, what you saying? It ain't none of that. It's everything stopped, and she got up in the middle of a conversation with my wife, and she went and got the coffee. My wife has done the same thing for me numerous amount of times. Numerous amount of times. She always asks me, especially when she said, "Baby, you need something? What you need, baby? What you need, baby? Baby, you got enough on that? Baby, you look like you're not warm enough." My wife always says this, "Baby, you don't look warm enough. Baby, what's wrong with you? Baby, you okay?" They always taking care of you. Always. There's no if, ands, or buts. They're taking care of you, brothers. Another reason why. I already told you how many. There's more. By the way, I want to say one more thing about that cost of living is affordable. So you don't have to struggle, brothers. You don't have to struggle in Japan, man, because you know what's beautiful about Japan? Oh, brothers, I forgot to mention this. I forgot to mention this shit. Brothers, Japanese don't look down on you because of what you do. They don't look down on you because of what you drive. They don't look down on you because of what you wear. They don't look down on you because of how much money you got. Japanese could care less about what you have. They are all about exercising their human rights. Some countries say they got human rights, but they're full of shit because they had slavery. And some countries had black men hanging on trees. I'm not going to mention no name. But in Japan, they practice. They don't talk it. They practice human rights. The next man has just as much right as you have to do your shit to handle your business. And one thing I love about Japanese is, look at D with this Japanese one. Watashi wa Nihonjin no tsuma. Oh man, Dekiru dake hayaku. Yeah, he says he wants to have a Japanese wife as soon as possible. And if y'all don't know the Japanese, there you go, brother. There you go. But I'm telling you, man, it's like it's like, the next man, they respect you. They respect you for who you are. And that's why you don't look down on anybody. Yeah, they're gonna and they appreciate shit. That's what I'm saying. They love everything about us. They appreciate how we dress. They will appreciate some nice wheels. When I drive down the street in my Mercedes, I know I'm gonna give me some compliments. Oh man, oh, they're gonna look, and if they feel comfortable, they're gonna say, "Oh, nice car, nice car." Oh, oh, Tony-san, nice car. They're gonna be saying that a lot in Japan because that's how they are. Because I remember when I was living there before, Tony-san, oh, very nice. Oh, Tony-san, no, nice shoes. Tony-san, nice hat. Tony-san, nice coat. That's how they talk. That's how they talk. And they can dress too. Japanese guys can dress. Trust me, they can dress. The girls to win, they know how to dress. You be in Tokyo. I remember I was on the train the other day and I was dressed. This brother, Japanese brother was, because they are brothers. Trust me, they are brothers. You treat them like brothers because they are brothers because they're gonna treat you like a brother. They on the train and he was sitting there, he had his little briefcase, man. He has nice shit on his shoes and shit. I was like, all right, brother's got his nice shit on. And I've said something to a couple of them. I say, man, nice hat, nice shoes. And they like, thank you, man. Oh, me, your shoes nice. I like boots nice. They say that. They say that. They know you checking people out. They know you recognizing good shit. That's the thing about Japanese guys. They recognize good things. They recognize good things. Okay, so yep, inflation is always much lower in the U.S. I already mentioned that. And one last thing, brothers, on why Japan is for the black man. You can eat whatever you like. So if you like eating that steak, you getting the steak. If you like eating that pork, you getting that pork. Don't think just because you move to Japan that you're gonna miss out on your stuff. What up, Soul Shader brother? What up, black man? Don't think that just because you're gonna get to Japan that you're gonna miss out on what you used to eat. It may be a smaller portion, but trust me, if you want some gumbo, they got gumbo. You want some menudo, they got menudo too. There's always a spot that'll pop up because they have a beautiful palate. They love exploring different palettes of food. They love tasting different foods. They're all about access. Guys, if you don't know already, Japan is a country of convenience. It is a very convenient country. It is a very easy country to live in. It is a very easy country to live in, guys. You can get whatever you want. So if you're afraid of, oh my God, if I move there, man, I might not be able to have my pork chop that I'm used to being at home, blah, 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 blah. Guess what you do? You move there, you find a place that got pork chop. If they don't, then guess what? You open up a pork chop restaurant, and that place will be people will be lined up around the corner to eat those pork chops in Japan. Remember, I put this article up a few months ago about this brother that owned this bakery shop. He's had a bakery shop in Tokyo for 30 years, and he makes like the pies like they used to do back in the day. That's why Japanese are lined up to get those pies that he makes, bean pies and whatnot. Black man in Tokyo, bakery, 30 years. What they gonna say? Fuck what you heard. Brothers got businesses in Japan. So I've seen quite a few brothers over there running businesses that are very successful. All right. So it is for the black man, brothers. I've given you reasons why it's for the black man. Now, let's move on to the next part. How to get there. Okay, so everybody wants to know how to get to Japan, right? Okay, first of all, let me talk about my experience. I wonder if I got enough of these likes up. Like I said, I'm gonna put these numbers up in my group page, but I'm gonna touch base on what what was the total cost of my trip. So let me get this thing. So the total cost of the money I spent was not just in one fell swoop. It was over a few months. There was various things that I did. For example, if you're gonna go to Japan, like right now, I know DT's talking about this summer. You need to get your tickets now because if you wait too long, the ticket's gonna go up. Okay, so like for example, my plane tickets, I got them back in the spring. I got my plane tickets in spring. Go premium economy all day long, man. I didn't know about it until I actually got on them. But when I came back, I was economy. But when I went, I was premium economy, and I loved it. So in fact, I'm trying to update my tickets now because I got my tickets already for June. Already. I'm ready to roll up out of this bitch. I got my tickets already for the move. So and I'm gonna have to upgrade those tickets. But here's what you do. And I'm talking to people like Soul Shader, Dez, you Mufasa, you brothers who want to go over there. you got to buy your tickets early. So let's say, so I got my tickets in the spring, and then I went ahead and got my JR pass in the fall, and then I went ahead and paid for my rental, not my rental car, but my car. That because I drove my car to the airport because I got a little girl, need a child seat and stuff like that, so stroller and whatnot. So I wanted to make sure that I had all that set up that I was able to do it myself. So I parked at the airport for like 2.5 weeks, and then I also reserved my whole. So the time I bought my plane tickets, right after that, I was on there booking my hotels. Okay, let me get my hotels all set up. Get all that. You ain't gotta pay. Don't get the ones where you gotta pay right away. Get the ones where you pay when you get there, right? Because that way, if you have to change up on the ass, you can change up. But I'm gonna be telling you guys where y'all can stay. I'm gonna be recommending them anyway when you go. But anyway, that's another story. So I did all that. So over the few months, I think I'd say like 8, 9 months of just planning and everything. Spent money on that. Then I got to Japan. I paid for all my accommodations. Got to rent a car. I paid for a week. I spent money, of course, on food. I went shopping. We literally was like we were living in Japan. We were there. It was so funny. I bought shirts. My wife bought some boots and whatnot, things like that. We bought things. We paid. I paid for my in laws' hotel rooms for 6 nights in 2 different places. I bought food for everybody. Paid for meals, everything. I did the whole works, man. And it cost me, but we budget wise, it was $12,000. So my trip cost me $12,000. Brothers, I'm transparent and I'm not gonna blow smoke in nobody's ass. That's what it cost me. Now, like I said, I will break it down in my group, the BSP group. You will see what cost what in there. I got one section there called meals and incidentals, and basically all that means is stuff like if I pay for gas for my vehicle, if I pay the toll fee for my vehicle, if food, shopping we did, little knickknacks we had to pick up like little toiletries or whatever. All of that's thrown in that meals and incidentals. But the one thing I do want to say is when you go to Japan, get you that JR pass because like us, we went all over. We went to 3 different places, but if you only go to Tokyo, of course your budget you're going to spend a lot less if you just go to 1 or 2 places, and it's only you, right? So you don't have to worry about a family of 4. When some instances a family of 6 and family of 7, because actually I paid for my sister-in-law's room too. So she was with my parents, my in-laws. They just basically stayed in the same room. So that's why 3 nights I paid for her too, and her meals and whatnot. So that's what it amounts to. The reason why I'm bringing this up, brothers, is because someone's going to get on this platform that's married to a Japanese woman that's planning to go over to Japan, and the woman may want to do this, and the other. And I'm just putting the number up there because I want them to know that, brother, if you're in the situation I'm in, it's pretty much going to cost you like it cost me about that much. You might as well bank on that. You might spend a little bit less, a little bit more, but give yourself a nice round figure. For me, family of 4, and then sometimes taking care of 2 extra members and three extra members, it cost me $12,000. That's what my numbers were. Now, how do you get to Japan? Okay. Most people in America, I don't know about England, I'm just gonna go by US. We can go to Japan on a 90-day visa. So you don't have to go through the Japanese consulate or nothing. All you need to do is get your plane ticket, get your passport, get to the airport. You want in Japan. You get in Japan, they stamp your passport. Bam, like they stamped mine. Bam, 18 December 2022. And then it says you have until 18th of March 2023, you can stay here. Now, the beautiful thing about Japan is that you could get there, and because the visa is 90 days, March the 1st or March the 17th, if you want one day before your visa expire, you jump on a plane, and Japanese will tell you, and the authorities will tell you, go to Korea, go to Thailand for a couple days or a day or whatever. You come back in Japan, guess what? Bam, the clock starts over again. Now this is what a lot of digital nomads do. They're making a lot. The brother that was on IP Stream mentioned this. They're making their money. They'll let you rent an apartment on a tourist visa, everything. They don't care because you're making money. They don't mind. They don't mind that at all. You got income coming in. That's all they care about. So the quelly excuses. Japan's a really easy place to be. Now I want to bring this up because my man Dez out of South Africa, for example. Remember, Des, I was telling you that the way to get to Japan is to have a college degree to work and live in Japan. Yes, it is true. It's an easier way to do it. But the tourist visa is another way you can do it. Now, I don't know what the South African situation is with Japan, but I know that the tourist visa is another way to do it if you haven't finished your education yet. So I just want to put that in mind. But you have to make sure that you have a job already that where you can work remotely that's going to allow you to live in Japan or live outside of the country, if you will. I just want to bring that up. So you can work remotely on the tourist visa in Japan, leave and return every 90 days. That is true. Another way, you can get a round trip ticket for less than $1,200 most of the time to Japan. Yes, when I bought my ticket for my family, they were less than $1,100. I think I only paid like $1,000 for my tickets. That was it for each one of my family members. That's $1,000. And then each one I paid $1,000 more. I paid a little bit less for my daughter because she's a little baby, but I wanted her to be sitting in the car seat on the plane because that's in case she goes to sleep and my wife sleep. I didn't want my wife to have to worry about her. I wanted my wife to be able to relax and get some sleep, some shut eye like she was able to do when she came back, and my daughter and everybody be comfortable. I'm all about making my family feel comfortable. That's why I don't have any problem spending money on my family. And I think that's what you have to be the same way, brothers. Now, just want to bring this up here. So, okay, so Des is telling me that there's no tourist visa for South Africa. So, see, that's what I'm saying. You have to see what countries you're from. So, Des, what I recommend you do is get to Canada and see if you can get you a Canadian passport. You should be somewhere in the Commonwealth and try to get to Japan that way. If before you get a degree, brother, that may be the best way for you to do. Um, Another thing, now I told you guys what this trip cost me, but I just want to say the fortunate thing about it, the good news is Japan has a budget for everybody. You don't need to stay in a Saksa View Hotel like I did, or Hotel Granvia in Kyoto, or even a Japanese inn like I did in Joetsu City. You can get there and stay in the youth hostel or a ryokan or something that doesn't cost much, and like as low as, like, I know the Kimi ryokan is usually about like 40 something bucks a night or less, 38 bucks a night or whatever. You can get there and you can say, okay, I'm gonna stay here. Because your highest cost of the trip, right, are your airfare and your accommodations. So there's a budget for everybody. So don't be intimidated by the $12,000 that Tony Berry spent. I mean, or BSP spent or whatever. You can find a budget for yourself to get there. And I mentioned if you have a 4-year degree, you can live and work there. The reason why I say that because companies will hire you and sponsor you if you have a 4-year degree. Um, and yeah, you can either apply to a firm online while in your country, or just save up enough funds to go there and look for a job. So that's the two ways you can do it. You can apply online. Like this brother that just moved to Kumamoto, he applied online through Nova, but he could have also gotten on a plane and went there and gotten country, or like I did on a tourist visa, and within 3 days I had a job. So either way, you can do whatever you want. I highly recommend you have enough expenses saved up for 6 months at least, and make sure you have a ticket to go back to your home country just in case that 6 months turned into something that you didn't want to. All right. Last but not least, I personally recommend that you get into a high paying position after moving to Japan to where you will have more time and more opportunities. Plan, plan, plan. Don't hope. I can't say this one more time. Plan, plan, plan. Don't fucking hope. Hope don't do shit. Hoping and praying ain't gonna do shit for you. Okay? You seen that video up there on the NFL thing where the brother got hurt and then like everybody's hoping and praying for Hamlin. No, don't hope and pray for Hamlin. Make sure Hamlin gets taken care of for the rest of his life. That's what he needs. That's what needs to happen. Okay? Hoping and praying ain't gonna do shit. Hoping and praying ain't gonna pay for those medical bills. Okay? Hoping and praying he's not gonna get his brother on Social Security. Because if he can't perform because he got injured on a football field for the rest of his life, guess what his Social Security check gonna look like? It's gonna look like shit, right? Because he's only gonna be able to do menial jobs, low paying jobs. No, pay the man. Don't pray for the man. Pay for the man. Is what I want to say. All right. So, with that said, brothers, I'm gonna open up this panel because I know we got some questions up here, man. I'm just kind of curious to listen to what the brothers have to say. That was my spiel, man. Japan is for the black man. It's true, brothers. It's out. The word is out. Japan is for the black man. It's not for the Pookies and Ray Rays. It's for the intelligent black man that is willing to be open-minded, get into the culture, respect the people there, and trust me, they will respect you back. All right? So I'm going to drop this link, brothers, and y'all are more than welcome to come in here and get on this panel and give me some of that good input that the brothers always giving up here. Here you go. All right, brothers. So the panel is open. The panel is open. So if you want to get on the panel, let me know. The panel is open. I hope this was the intel that the brothers are looking for. I always got intel and private messages too. I always got some intel. Like I said, I will drop my numbers in my group of the cost that this trip cost me. I had a wonderful time in Japan, brothers. I was really, really happy to get back. I was in my element. I was in the zone. It's a beautiful country, brothers. I highly recommend it for brothers. Um, just be yourself. Just be your black, beautiful self that you always are. That you try to be in this country, but they won't let you be. But you trust me, when you step out of this element, you good. Yes, yes, it is, brother. This is the BSP. This is the BSP group on Facebook, brother. Thank you. Yes, it is the black side of YouTube. I love that. I love that deal. The black side of YouTube, brother. Thank you. Thank you, man. Y'all want to get on the panel? Let me know. I did just drop the link in the panel, brothers. If y'all want to get on the panel, let me know. There's Dez. What up? What up? What up? What up, South Africa in this mofo? What up, baby? What's up, Dez?
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Welcome, brother.
What's up? What's up, man?
Are you talking?
Yeah,
Can you-
man.
I can't hear you. You got it on mute?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear the brother.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, Dez? Dez?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, my bad. That was me, but I have
Can
my
you hear
volume.
me?
Yes. Let me go ahead.
Give me a second. I'll just turn my microphone back on.
Yeah, can you hear me? Brother, can you hear me?
Yes, we got you loud and clear. I also got Malik coming in here too, brother. I got brother Malik coming in from New York. It's not New York, brothers. It's New York. That's what it is, brother. Because New York is a big magnet city, man. It's like you walk around New York, it's like, oh, New York. I'm in New York. Where you at? I'm in New York. No, motherfucker, you're in New York. You in New York. You know, that's what it is. It's big time New York, brothers. New York. So what's up, Daz? What's up, brothers?
Yeah, I was actually just doing some coding before I got on this, just burning the midnight oil. I'm just trying to get my skills up, Got my plan for this year and I'm just like going through, I want to get getting through that software development route.
Yes.
I know you because I know you mentioned like Canada and everything like that. And to be honest, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But like to be honest with you, brother, like if an opportunity opens up where I can go straight to Japan, I'd rather pick that over Canada.
Okay.
I'd rather
Okay.
take that hard route.
All right. I would just welcome Soul Shader up in it too, by the way. They'll get a chance to speak. Soul Shaker and Malik.
Hey, Tony.
What's up, brother? Hey, Soul Shader, man. We're gonna hook up in a couple weeks, so let me know, brother, when you're gonna be in Seattle the weekend after. Yeah, the weekend after next. We're gonna be hooking up, brother. Let me see. Wait, did I
No
say that?
problem.
Actually, give me 3 weeks because I'm supposed to take my fam to Bellevue that week. So the weekend after next, that's the one. That's what I'm saying. Near the end of the month. Oh shoot, wait, when's my son's birthday? Son's birthday is the 31st. What's the day? Give me 1 second. Yeah. The weekend of the 28th is good, brother. That's good. I'm probably let me see here. Shoot. We might have to shoot for the fourth. Might have to shoot for the fourth, brother. The fourth. Fourth.
Probably the 15th of February, because I'm gonna end up leaving to San Diego for training. We
Oh.
leave around like the 16th of this month.
Oh, you
Yeah,
leaving the 16th of this month.
yeah, to San
Oh,
Diego.
when are you back?
I'll be back around like February, like mid-February, like the 15th of February, something like that.
Okay,
Like,
let's shoot for that. Let's
yeah,
shoot for that. There's no big.
yeah,
Okay, let me know. Let me know.
no problem.
All right. So I'm sorry. Oh, we got Mufasa up in there too. And Dez, I wanted you to continue, brother, because I didn't want to cut you off, man. So you said one thing I gotta say, Dez, is I know your story. I know you about a half a mile away from getting your college degree, your 4-year degree. You said it's 3 years in South Africa. Have you
Yeah.
been able to check and see if that degree will work in Japan?
From what I've seen, it should work in Japan because it's not a four. Let me put it this way: it's not a 4 year degree. But what I've realized is apparently different countries have like different years for like the same degree. So it's still a bachelor's degree. It's just in South Africa, it's 3 years because I did marketing three. There's no marketing fourth year.
Okay, so did you check and see that that degree will work? Because, brother, I'm telling you right now, if that degree will work for Japan, you could be in Japan this year.
Yeah, man, that's literally I want to be gone like my latest like early next year, but like I just want to be gone. Like I want this to be my last like year in this country because I hate this place, South Africa.
Okay, so here's what you need to do then, and I know we're gonna bring Mufasa in there too, man. We got some brothers on this panel, and I really appreciate you brothers up in here. And I told you guys it's gonna be a good night, man. Um, I just want to say that, Des, in your situation, and y'all know me, man. I'm not gonna blow smoke in nobody's ass. I'm straight up. Make sure you have the funds to be in Japan for at least 3 to 6 months, because that's what I'm learning is that that's the most effective way to get there. This brother, that's even after you get hired there, like this brother that just got hired from England, he's got enough funds on him to make sure he's okay. Because see, in Japan, they pay you once a month. So let's say you get to Japan today, like the 6th, right? You land in country, you all excited, but you're not gonna see no money until probably February 1st or even March 1st, depending on when you land in the month. So you have to always make sure that you have enough funds to set yourself up and to live off of, and then you start getting that money rolling in. But for you, Des, I don't know if there's a quicker way for you to get out of there, but I would be trying to get out of here as quick as I can get out of there.
Yeah, it's just getting the funds for the degree sorted out right now. But right now, I'm just focused more on like trying to get that software development job because I took your advice, brother. I already got my GitHub set up. I've installed some stuff on my computer. I'm already because I started with like JavaScript, but I went back to do HTML, CSS, and Tailwind to strengthen those core skills before I move on. And
Yeah.
I'm already building like projects, like you said, because you said like you should have projects and upload to GitHub. But dude, I'm just
Yes.
focusing on like every
Yes,
day I'm
brother, that is
coding
a
like
good way to be.
four.
So you
And
so you building those projects, that's gonna help you. You sound like you're breaking up for a little bit. You building those projects, that's gonna help you out a lot, because when you get to Japan, you want to be able to put yourself in a situation where you can make that money. That's where you need to
yeah,
be in. You
definitely.
need to be in that situation. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
because
I'm
I
gonna
did
bring.
look at the.
Oh,
Sorry,
go ahead.
brother.
I'm sorry.
Am I breaking up, or is it
Yeah, you were. I didn't hear you. You said you were looking at what?
Yeah, I said I was looking at the salaries, and I know salaries in Canada are higher, but brother, look, I would rather be in Japan, even if it means a lower salary. Like I'd pick Japan over Canada any day.
Okay, don't just look at the salary. Here's what I'm saying about salary. Let me just bring this up, brothers. Okay, salary is just that. It's just a salary. What you need to be focusing on is cost of living. That's how they fool us. They say, "Oh man, if you live in this country, you could be making. If you live in California, you can make $200,000 a year in California. Yeah, but your goddamn house mortgage is going to be like $5,000 a month, and the hamburger going to cost you $50, right? You need this.
Yeah,
Everybody needs to focus on cost of living, brothers. I'm telling you, in Japan, cost of living is very affordable. Very affordable
Very true.
in Japan. What's up, Mufasa? What's going on?
What's going on? Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, motherfucker. What's going on? That was usually my saying in Japan. I walk around like,
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, motherfucker. That was my saying, man. They used to love that shit. Japanese eat that shit up, man. Because, see, that's what they like. They like yourself. So, what's up, Mufasa? What's going on?
Hey, dope stream, man. Dope stream. You're right, though. You hit it on the nose. It's not about, the salary. It's about the cost of living. Because I've been doing a lot of research lately, and I've found that most places, obviously outside the matrix, you can live a very lavish lifestyle for shit, $2,000, not even that, 1,500. Depends on where you are. And the Global Peace Index. I don't know if you brothers are familiar with the Global Peace Index, but it's basically the ratings of different countries based on crime, cost of living, pretty much everything across the gamut. Japan is ranked number 10. The US is ranked number 129.
Oh my goodness, brother.
Yeah, 129. So, I mean, that tells you exactly, the crime rate. I mean, we've got countries that used to be third world countries, and in some ways kind of still is, but like Nicaragua, El Salvador, these countries are flourishing. They're doing way better than the US. And I
Yeah.
want to say they're like in number 80 or so, something like that. So yeah, it's time to make that move.
See,
It's
and I
time to
want to
make
bring that up, brother, that you brought up the peace, because I just dropped the link for the Global Peace Index. And here's what I'm saying. Here's why, even at number 10, Japan is nice, because all these countries that are above Japan are basically countries that they don't have a large population. Iceland's number one. Okay, there are what, 500,000 people there. New Zealand is a small pop. Ireland small. Denmark small. Austria small. Portugal small. I mean, they might have more, like 20 million. Slovenia small, Czech small, Singapore definitely small. So Japan at 126 million is number 10. So it might as well be number one, because
Yeah,
they have all these
exactly.
people in their country. Canada is number 12, which is nice.
Hmm.
It's-
Canada's
so
even
you have to
down.
look at that. Yeah, Canada's up there. So when you look at that chart, that ranking, look at the type of country that where it's ranked at too. It's a country like Japan and Canada where people are familiar with, where they're living, and they're up that high. And you look at the US, man, we're like 100 and something. That's ridiculous.
129.
129, man. That's crazy. What you got, Malik? What you got to say on that, brother, about this, man? You got any input on that?
What's up, fellas?
What's up,
How's it
New York?
going, Tony?
What up, New York?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate all the information you shared and sharing your story and your trip with us. Pretty inspiring. Yeah, I'm in New York, and it feels like it's 120 or whatever the ranking is. I mean, depending on where you are in the city, you can, it's either bad or worse, pretty much. And if you got a lot of coin, you can kind of elevate and kind of be in the area where you're pretty much okay. But yeah, man, I mean, 2020, when things went to crap, it definitely felt like we were 120 ranking for sure.
Mhm. I mean, can you explain that, brother? So I know you in New York, we from the city, man. Most black men are from the city, urban, we're urban creatures, man, by nature. I mean, we were forced in there, but then we learned to perfect that shit. So in New York, okay, I'm from Philly, man. So I used to go to New York a lot, so I know the city. Now, you're right, man, because it's like you could be walking down the street with your girl in New York, if she's nice enough to be with, and you out just trying to have a good time, but then you always gotta come across some bullshit. Is that what you're trying to get into? What you referring to?
Um, I guess I was just talking about danger level, just in general, like safety, just general safety.
Yes, that's what I mean.
It's
To run into
yeah.
that safety level.
Um, yeah, I guess you could run into that. There's a lot of mental health issues here, so there are a lot of this. It's like it's like, you know, uh, s- just people just being let loose from mental asylums. It's kind of hard to describe. And you know, yeah, you're from Philly, so you know what I'm talking about. Just a lot of crazy people everywhere,
Yeah.
right? So it's not that. So a lot of people committing the crimes actually have mental health issues and just running loose. So you can be committed, and then if they like, for whatever reason, but you have to be released at some point, right?
Yeah.
And these people are released, and they have no family, or at least they've been abandoned by the family. And you have thousands and thousands and thousands of people like that here in the city, and that's just the way it is. So between that and then the criminal minds is just a cesspool.
Yeah, and see, and that's what I mean by like Mufasa was mentioning this earlier too about the quality of life, cost of living, affordability. See, here's what I'm getting at, brothers. You got fools up there living on the Upper West Side in Manhattan, East. You know, we know the nice spots, man. You know, Soho. You know, because I know me, I love to get me a nice little spot down there in the Ville, the Village. You know, I love the Village, the jazz clubs, walking around Washington Park. You know, I like to hang around those areas. But you know what I'm getting at though is why spend all that millions of dollars just to live in a 700 square foot condo in New York and then have to go downstairs and walk out of your condo and step over shit and have to deal with having the chance of getting your head hacked off because they just hacked some fools up in T Square. They hack motherfuckers out there hacking people, right? So, you know, to run into that kind of shit, but yet you spending all that money when you can get on the plane to Japan and spend not even 1/10 of what this food done spent, and you ain't got to worry about shit. You might forget to lock your door when you go to work and you come back and the same shit is in your house that was there when you left. See? So does that make sense? That doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense to have to think that you living rich. You ain't rich. In America, you're not rich. You just basically paying too much for shit. That's really what it is.
To just piggyback off of that, for someone like me, that's probably like the biggest selling point, because back in 2020 is when I decided that I wanted to go somewhere, anywhere. Japan was in my first choice, um, but the ability to work there, it slowly became like the top choice because it was double. It was the safety. Obviously, the women are awesome. I dated Japanese chicks here in the city. There's a lot of them here.
Mhm.
But between that and being able to work in the safety, yeah, so that's pretty much a great selling point for me for as a possibility for Japan. Um, the only thing that I guess would be a drawback for people who are just visiting would be the language barrier, because you will miss out on a lot. For someone who's traveled, and you will miss out on a lot if you don't speak the language. It's like being in America and don't speak English. Like there's a whole world that's not available to you.
No, I agree with you 100%, brother. Yeah, brothers, and you know, I told you earlier. Yes, that is the only drawback is you will have to speak the language. But see, that shouldn't be what keeps you away from a country. Think about it. Let's just put it this way. Here's my take on this. Other than the language, it's the best place in the world for brothers to live. Because once you get past the language barrier, they got everything. Malik can walk down Tokyo. He can walk down Osaka. He can walk down Fukuoka. And he can feel like he back in New York. Only difference is he ain't got the crime to deal with. He can walk into a side street and grab that meal that he always wanted to eat. Or he can walk over there and pick up these shoes that he had his eye on for a week. They got everything there, brothers. I'm telling you, they got everything in Japan. Everything. I was surprised because when I got there, you know, like I take protein after I do my workouts, right? I do my protein shake and whatnot. So I'm walking in Japan. I'm like, oh man, I want to take any protein. Man, I walk into a convenience store. Bam! What I see? Protein drinks in there. Stuff that I thought I would never see in the store in front of my face. So if they got it here, they got it there. All you got to do is get into the culture and learn the language. And after that, you set.
Yeah, I agree with that, TB. You know, and that's something that can be ongoing, but I mean, the reward is so much greater, you know, because if you weigh that times, you know, the reasons to leave alone, I mean, you've got let's just well, I can list a ton of things. Racism is the worst. Police brutality, you know, healthcare costs, lower crime, you know, better accommodations, less stress, better health. I mean, like I said before, they're listed as the fifth best country for healthcare in the world, and you've got the U.S. listed at number 35. And better than the US is, like I said before, those countries like El Salvador, Honduras. I mean, these are countries that used to be third world countries and now they're much better. So when you weigh that, it's going to be a lot better. You don't have to deal. And feminism, I mean, hell, we haven't even talked about that. Feminism alone, you know. So I mean, mass shootings. When has there ever been a mass shooting in Japan?
No.
I mean,
And you never seen your brothers hanging on trees over there either.
they don't. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Billie Holiday's song. What is it? Strange Fruit.
Yeah.
I mean, so the violence alone is enough to just say, adios, I'm out. I know that's how I look at things because in racial inequalities, I mean, even if it's not Japan, any other country that's gonna fulfill everything that you need. Like I said, when you weigh things against the cost of living is really what you should be looking at. Like TV said earlier, the cost of living, because you can live somewhere off 3 grand, and not even 3 grand, 1,500, and that's all in. And you can go even lower than that. So it's just crazy. I've been doing a lot of research because my plan is to get the fuck out of the US in the next 2 years. And what you want to do, well, this can be another stream as far as like savings and retirement and all that. But I've got a plan for all that. I used to be a financial planner. So, if you brothers need guidance on any of that, just let me know. But
He's
yeah,
good,
I
brother.
can't wait.
He's good.
Can't wait to visit you in August, bro.
Yes, and that's another thing I was gonna say, brothers. Yes, so Mufasa will be over there. Believe DC said he wants to show up. Sean Davis out of Canada, he's gonna be over there, man. The brothers, we're gonna be getting together this summer coming up, man, and we're gonna be doing Tokyo and Osaka, man. We're gonna be doing some videos, we're gonna be doing some interviews, we're gonna be doing some whatever's, man, hanging out. The brothers, man, I'm telling you, when they get there, they're gonna be like, oh man, I can't wait to get back. I don't want to leave. My son cried the day we left, man. He was crying. He did not want to leave Japan.
Wow.
He was like, "Oh no, Daddy." I had to get him away from his grandmama, his granddad. He was like, "Oh, I don't want to leave, man." And so Shader, by the way, when are you going to get over there, man? Because I know you said 24 too, right? I know you was talking about that.
Yeah, 24. I'm gonna try to see if I can get there like early 24, like around February or March. I want to try to come in when it's not cold,
Right on.
That's why I'm thinking I'm gonna go.
Okay,
And I
because
can see my
Tokyo's
friends
not that
too.
cold. Tokyo's not that cold. I mean, Tokyo when I was there, look at the background, it was mostly sunny. It was in the 50s. My wife's side, now the other side of Japan, I told you there was cold as a bitch over there, but it was nice, cold. It was comfortable. I didn't really feel anything really bother me. I mean, I was having a good time. I love the snow, but when I come back across the tunnel on the east side of the country through the mountains, then the weather was pretty much sunny everywhere.
Okay, that's good.
So
Cool.
yeah, it's not, it's the East Coast is when it's sunny, it's cold as shit, like 10 degrees, 12 degrees, like Buffalo and shit. But, New York might be 35. But Tokyo is more like 50s. When I was there, it was in the 50s.
All right then.
It
Awesome.
was nice. So I think winter is actually a good time to visit Japan. I wouldn't, any season is good, but the summer to me, if I was not to go to Japan, I wouldn't do the summer, but the summer's fun. I mean, Derek and those guys, DT and those guys coming this summer, so that's cool. But I mean, if you are concerned about weather, then you wouldn't want to come in the summer because if you don't like the heat, because the summer is hot. Trust me, it's hot in Japan summertime.
Hey TB, so as far as like food goes, because that's huge for me too, and that's another reason, to get the hell out of the US because of, the quality of our food is poor. Everything's byproducts and
GMO
processed.
shit. Yep.
So what's your take on the food?
All right, let me give you guys. Y'all see my Facebook page? Let me go ahead and pour me a little bit more of this hot lidge from France. They France hard. And you can see that it's going in the glass. There's little
What
nice
what are you
little
pouring? Some Rio Niti or something?
No, this is from Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot.
I'm just kidding.
2018 from France, man. Some Haute Luge from France.
Nice.
Kind of hard to see in this with the way this angle going, but okay. So let me get you my take on the food. All right. So all my years in Japan of eating food, I've never got sick. Okay. I was in Japan, man. I was pretty much eating anything I wanted to eat. Didn't worry about nothing. I only gained 1.5 pounds, brothers. I got back. Like if I put it on Facebook, I'm 6 foot, so I was working out and everything, doing my thing. I was weighing 160, I think it was 166 before I left. When I got back, I weighed 167.7. And that was in
Gee,
Japan for 2.5 weeks.
that's
So
crazy.
the quality of food, I ate steak. I mean, I went out and had a nice steak dinner. I ate for a few days. I was eating pastries every morning because that's what I thought they wanted to eat. But then my wife told me, she said, "You eating a lot of pastries?" I said, "Well, shit, I thought everybody else wanted to eat pastries." She said, "No." Oh, okay. Well, let's eat something else. That kind of thing. Um, so I ate good, man. I ate good, and I didn't gain anything really, brothers.
So Tony, I studied a lot on the Japan culture as far as the food, and I know in the early years in school they teach the kids about the three square meal method, and it's spot on as far as the time they eat, how much they eat, and how that goes. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, that is something that I'm looking forward to when my son starts fourth grade or fifth grade this year. Um, my wife told me about it when she was in school. Basically, what happens is when they go to elementary school, the children help in food preparation and they also help in cleanup too. And they also eat together. So they get to learn where all the food is coming from. So, like, they'll say, okay, they may even plant food in the garden and then they'll go out there and they'll pick what they're going to eat for lunch out of the garden. They'll pick potatoes, they'll pick onions or whatever the case may be, and then they will see them go into meal preparation. There's always of course, adults that are doing the actual cooking and whatnot, but the children would take and cutting the vegetables, slicing up whatever they need to slice up and preparing the foods, and then they sit down and they eat together. They communicate over their lunch. They get told what's in the food, what they're eating, that you know what, brothers, here's what I want to say. Here's the advantage of this. That is why when you go to Japan, anywhere you go, you pretty much gonna get good, safe, clean, nice, good, tasty food to eat. Because Japanese do not fuck around when it comes to their food. They don't fuck around a lot of things, but definitely their food. They're very serious. And because they've created this culture of food preparation and of caring about food and of when you're done eating, you clean up your room when you're done. My son says in his school, the kids just throw stuff on the floor, and my wife cooks his meals every day, but other kids, they got to bring their meals or get their meals in school, and it's usually crappy as like a pizza or a hot dog and a burnt fry or some shit in American school, right? Well, he said they kids just throw shit all over the place, but in Japan, the kids have to clean up after themselves with their kids. It's your classroom. You got to clean it up, not the maids. So that whole thing is built into their psyche. That's why they go looking for good food.
So, and that also probably goes into the upbringing for the women there too, or the girls. It starts at a very young age with them too. Wouldn't
Yes.
you say? Yeah.
Yes. The girls are taught that, a lot of different responsibilities. They have great examples for parents, where their mom is doing what they got to do to prepare the home, to make sure things are run well. The one thing I can say, man, about these women, man, is they're very good managers, not just in the home. They're very good managers. And so, and I hate to use my sister as an example, but she's 34 years old. She just turned 34. She's not married, and I see why. Because not every woman over there is built to marry. And she apparently is not, because she's been living on her own for a while. She's very selfish. And I give you an example I had with her. I never got mad at her, but she pissed me off a couple times when I was there. So here it is. My mom and my mother is preparing breakfast for us, my mother-in-law. And literally my daughter was I mean, my sister-in-law was sleeping on the sofa in the living room. Because my father-in-law likes clutter everywhere. So but They made space for dinner, for breakfast table and dinner, whatever. And here he is preparing the last breakfast before we left. And I walk in there and I see her laying on the sofa and not even getting up to make sure she eats with us. And I was pretty fucking mad. I told my wife later on, I said, I was pissed. I said, because that's disrespectful because, she know we came all the way from Japan and she gonna sit up there and be sleeping on the sofa while we get ready to eat breakfast when she need to have her ass up there and making sure she helped out. And then she wakes up and we're talking. I'm telling my son not to do a couple things. And then I noticed she's looking at her dog because she brought the dog the last day because we didn't want the dog there because my wife doesn't like pet hair and the dog is a biter. He would definitely bite my daughter. And I already told her first day, the dog bite my daughter, the dog is gone. I don't give a shit. I'll throw that dog out the window. Everybody in the house knew that. So of course she had the dog attached to her, make sure she's okay, right? So she's looking at the dog, and then I look over at her and said, "Hey, what's up? Is Mio asleep?" She says to me in Japanese, "Iman netenai mo chotto urusai kara." Means she said, "Oh, she's not sleeping anymore because it got loud." Because she was basically referring to what I was saying to my son. At that moment, I was that close to saying, "Bitch, are you out of your fucking mind? You don't ever talk to me like that. Here over a fucking dog." I said, "We came all the way to the States over here to see you guys. And that's all you can think about?" So you know what? Later on in the day, she felt guilty before we left and she gave me something nice because she felt guilty. Now, my wife explained to me why nobody said anything to her. The reason why, this is how Japanese think. They never said nothing to her because they didn't want to mess up the breakfast. Because they said if they'd have said something to her, she'd have been moody and she would have messed the breakfast up for the whole morning. She would have pretty much fucked up the whole day because she's moody. But what I'm getting at is this. Those kind of women are not marriageable and never will be. That's why she's still single at 34. So I just want to put that out there. So if you run into a
TB,
woman like that, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just going to ask you. So, how do you recognize those kind of women when you're visiting and when you're, engaging? How do you vet them out?
So okay, so like I said, you don't bring them back to your place. Of course, you take to a love motel, but you just see how they behave, how considerate they are. They're very
Mhm.
easy to spot, the ones that just don't care because, you know, for example, it's easy. Like, are they on their cell phone all the time? Are they
Yeah.
looking to? Are they engaged in conversation? Or are
Yeah,
they just sitting there waiting for a meal?
yeah, because they really give you good eye contact if they're really engaged. I noticed as well.
Yes, because the Japanese only know they don't know any other way. They know that they have to be eye contact and they have to be looking at a person and they want the person that they're interacting with to know that look, hey, I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm into what you're saying. That's what's up. If they don't
Mhm.
look at you like my wife didn't look me in my eyes when I first started dating her because she was kind of shy. You could tell when they're shy and when they're just not right. No, it was because she was shy. Because I picked up on that right away. I mean, a 21-year-old girl, she's gonna be shy anyway. You know, first time she's ever going out with somebody, she don't know. She's just gonna be, oh no, what am I supposed to do? That kind of thing, you know. But no, you can tell the ones. You can tell them after a while. You can tell.
So now, as far as like, say, if you're out somewhere, I'm not a club type guy. I'll go out to a club here and there every once in a while, every blue moon. But I'm more of that jazz scene. Obviously, I'm 54, so I don't really get into that stuff anymore. But as far as cold approach, as far as walking up to women there, I know a lot of guys don't do that because that's kind of not their culture to approach the girls there, I believe. But for us coming over as a visitor, how do they feel about that? Is it
Oh
more, do you have to go through their friends or do you just, I mean, if you're eyeing somebody up, can you just walk right up to them and start a conversation?
yeah, yeah. You can walk right up to them, and start a conversation. They are as Westerners. We
Mhm.
have carte blanche, man. We have the right of way, if you will. And the Japanese, what's beautiful about them, man, is they will open up more to a Westerner than they'll open up to another Japanese.
Mm,
That's the advantage. That's the advantage we have over them. They are willing and able to open up to us because they're like, wow, this guy's coming up here talking to me. There ain't a Japanese girl in town that'll turn you down if you want to talk to him. The only reason why they might not say nothing is if they're in a rush and or they married and they got kids, and or they just don't have time for you. But most of them will talk to you. In fact, they're waiting for you to talk to them.
Oh
Yep.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, you can tell because I remember when I was over there and I'd walk up and then I'd see them. I see their body language change. Oh shit! Okay. Let me get my shit together because there's a brother right there. That's how they are. You can see them changing their body language. That's why I understand how brothers can get over there and not know that they are valued. They're highly valued in Japan. Highly valued.
Hmm. Nice. Nice. Okay. So, I know when I think it was, I want to say it was, uh, shit. Oh gosh, I can't even think right now. I had a few. I'm on my third glass right now, so
Yes, get it with the wine, baby.
that's right. Um, Theo had mentioned something about like a prime area to find the best of the best. The
Yeah.
nines and dimes, the supermodel type women over there. What areas are those? Are they going to be more in Okinawa, Osaka, Tokyo,
Well, they won't
Nagata?
be in Okinawa. They won't be in Okinawa. Okinawa is an island, small island, and most of
Mm,
those girls down there are homely. I mean, they got nice girls, but the Okinawan is the last one I want to go out with in Japan because they're not sophisticated enough for me. I like sophistication. I like sophisticated women. I like women with some class, with who know how to take care of themselves, who pride themselves in just being feminine and being nice and being good looking. Um, yeah, there's a few areas, but I would say that any business day, you go around the like big areas like Tokyo Station, Marunouchi, which is right around Tokyo Station. You can go to like Shibuya, of course. Shinjuku is a big spot in Tokyo. Shinagawa, they got a lot of them. In fact, I think that's number one. Shinagawa is number one in Japan. I mean, in Tokyo. Then, if you want to start doing venturing out, Fukuoka, Hakata area, which is in Fukuoka, Kyoto, Osaka, you talking Umeda is really, really nice area. Kobe, Sannomiya area is nice. You want to go to like in Niigata, it's Bandai because all the women hang around Bandai. In Niigata City. Um, you got
so so is that
Sapporo.
so is that
uh,
like a bullet train ride or
yeah,
public transportation? I mean, how close are all those areas?
yeah. Tokyo's close, but then yeah, when you go outside the city, you're talking about a bullet train. So you're talking about 2.5 hour bullet train from Tokyo to
Oh,
Kyoto, Osaka area. You talking about a 5 hour and a half. I think it's 5 hours and a half to Fukuoka. Um, you don't want to go that far out unless you actually going to spend a lot of time in country, like say 3 months or something, because you know you gotta. It's a lot to see in Japan. It's really a lot to see. It may be not as big as the rest of as the United States, but it's still as big as California. So just imagine going around California by itself. It's a pretty
mm,
big. It's 75% of the land, of course, is mountainous. So you only got 25% that you can actually go visit. I mean, not visit, but you can like live on. But still, it's a big enough, beautiful country where you can see a lot of differences.
hmm, nice, nice. Okay.
And so I wanted to bring this up too, brother. So Malik, I know that DT is gonna be there this summer, and I know Des, what your plan is. I know what Soul Shade is planning. What about you, Malik? What are you planning on your trip to Japan?
Hopefully in a few months, for the hiring season around March.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You mentioned that. Yes.
Oh
So
wow.
fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Just if anything, it'll be just a trip, but we'll see if anything comes up as far as work. Um, Now, as far it's kind of complicated because I definitely know I don't want to work for a Japanese company. That's not going to work out.
No.
Uh, International company, it depends. Um, because I'm not really into going into the office anymore, and I have to check out the situation and stuff like that. So it'll be more of just investigating, but there is remote work out there. So and a lot of so we'll see if I catch any out there. You have to be in country for those jobs, though. For a lot of those jobs, I'm discovering. Unless you're fluent in Japanese, like Theo, then they'll find you, and then they don't care. But yeah,
Yeah,
Malik,
he's right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mufasa. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Malik. Go to Tokyo, or where you headed to?
Tokyo. Yeah, there's nowhere
Okay.
else to go. So I'm there primarily for work. I'm not doing touristy. I'm not doing anything tourist related. Um,
Mm.
like immediately when I arrive, it'll be more of looking for work. I'll already have work, but the sooner I try to figure out the work situation, if it's something that'll work out or not, the better, because there's only a small window of being able to test that out, because they actually have a hiring season, unlike the US where they hire all year long. So that'll be the best time to figure out if it's even possible, if it's something that I would like, so I can plan moving forward.
And this is your first trip?
To Tokyo, Japan, yes. To just Japan in
Oh,
general, yes.
yeah, nice.
And I think the way he's doing it, brothers, I think he's doing it the right way. Because see, what I did, my experience was I was in grad school in UW, man, in Washington State, and I dropped out of grad school because nobody was really making any money. My friends were graduating. I said, "What?" I said, "Why am I spending this money in grad school?" So I went ahead and I just jumped on a plane, man. I picked up a book on how to teach in Japan, and even though I was stationed there, but then I got out and went back to I went to grad school, but then I jumped on a plane later, and I gave myself 2 weeks to find a job. I found a job in 3 days, teaching English, and now there's so many more opportunities. I wouldn't go the English teaching route. Only way I'd go that route, like I advised that brother in England, is if you want to get in the country right away. He's in country, but he's looking for some IT work, which is he is eventually gonna get it. So I think Malik's way that he's going about this is the right way. You will find employment. I just think that what you need to understand is that if you don't get what you're looking for, don't want to leave Japan, you will eventually get it. It's, in other words, what I'm saying is, it's not going to be a situation where you're going to get there and like, all right, I'm not getting what I want. I'm out of here. No, you're going to have to go under the auspices that you're going to be staying there until you secure something that's going to lead you eventually to what you want to get, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. That does make sense. So, okay. So, how do you feel about settling? So, let's say, um, you know, I'm worried about, not really worried about, but I am kind of, without even knowing what the options are, I'm already kind of choosy. So, I
Yeah.
already know what I don't want, and it's a lot. So, that eliminates a lot. So, should I relax a little bit on that,
Yes.
or what?
Well, okay, wait, before I say yes, you mean you talk when you say settle, you mean like the type of places that you're willing to live in? Is that what you mean?
Just work. As far as living, I can deal with most. I mean, it's fine. I'm sure it'll be all right. It's got to be better than New York right now. I don't
Yes.
live in a yeah. I don't. The place I'm living isn't really bad at all. The environment isn't that great, but my apartment isn't that bad. So like a small unit place or anything like that, I don't care. I'm mainly referring to work.
Okay, so you okay, you said settle. So I think what you're gonna have to do, and I know you do not want to work for a Japanese company, which is true, you don't want to work for a Japanese company. I worked for a Japanese company. There were 16-hour days for a year. Okay. It was strenuous. But here's what I'm getting at. Don't work for the Japanese company, but when you get there looking for an IT position, if you don't find the position that you want, you will have to have an alternative, because here's the beauty of that. You're gonna eventually get what you're gonna get, but you're gonna have to be in country to get it, because a lot of these people don't want you out of country. If you're in country, you have more of an advantage over anybody that's not in country. Is what I'm saying. And so, while you're pursuing your dreams, you are there. You are getting to know the country while you're there, instead of you just packing up and saying, "Oh, I'm out of here. I'm going back to New York and wait till I get what I want." You're losing all that time to learn about Japan. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah,
Because the
that's
hiring season is not just it's a big hiring season. April is a big hiring season. I get this, the biggest of the year. But they still do hire throughout the year. Because what happens is people will come in and they'll get hired and they'll hire all these people, and then they will sometimes it'll be like, oh, you know what, that's not the guy I wanted. What about that other guy? What about that guy in Malik? What about him? Oh yeah, where's he at? Oh, he's back in New York. Oh, okay. Next, what about this other guy? But if you're in Tokyo and you happen to be working for something that you didn't want to work for, but it's not a Japanese company, but it's small, but you're still making money, and then you get that call from that company that you always wanted to work for, you're there. You see? So all I'm saying is go all in. Don't just go in, hope, trying to get this, that. Go all in or don't go in at all, is what I'm saying.
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. Y'all know me. I'm always gonna be transparent, man. I just want to make sure the brothers see what is going on with this, Des, your situation the same way. You got a lot of things going on for you. I really would see if you can check on that degree thing because you're doing IT. You could still get there and teach and do your IT while you're there instead of you worrying about power outages and all this other shit going on in South Africa. 'Cause
Yeah,
I know the crime is high too,
definitely.
right?
Yeah, definitely. But I'm like looking
Yeah.
to get into like the I let me put it this way, like the IT would be
Yeah.
my main thing. That's what I want my income source to be. Not just because I want a better quality life, but because I found I'm generally like passionate about like IT and like coding. Like I don't see it as a chore. And then the
Yes.
TEFL, like you said on the previous stream, you can always renew that thing. So that already I already have my TEFL, so that would be like a backup plan. Like if anything goes south with the IT, then I know I don't have to leave Japan. I can, like you said, you have preferential treatment if you're already in the country. Then you can just
Yes.
use that because then it's like it becomes a waiting game to get like the permanent residence. Because brother, like I'm not planning on traveling all over the world until I get that like permanent residence. I don't want to take any like risks like like let's say COVID or something goes down, and then how Japan just closes its doors. I don't want to be outside of the country traveling, and then something happens, and then you have to start the whole process from.
Yes, exactly. That is a good move. And the thing is this. So you you have a lot of opportunities if you're there when you're there. Of course, you have the opportunities. You're gonna make the money. Eventually you are. But one thing I just forgot to ask Des and Malik, because I know you guys are leaning toward IT, and I know Associator is too. What do you guys think about the recent layoffs? Now I know I mentioned something like this on another stream where I think it's overrated. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. But still, has that affected your judgment when you're looking at the IT world?
Well, I'll give you my thoughts on that. So the recent IT layoffs, the FANG and everything like that.
Yes.
Well, it has. Let me put it this way. It has made me view the IT world differently. But honestly, like coming from because I worked at Cantor, which is a global market research company.
Yes.
I mean, Amazon, Facebook, they work the same way as my like nothing that Facebook and Amazon have done is anything different from what my old company has done. So it just
Okay.
shows that regardless of what you do, you can't trust these employers, and that's why I like coding because I'm trying to get to the point where I can freelance myself. Work
Yes.
with the companies, not under them because these guys, you don't want to be in Japan and they can just cut your paycheck whenever they feel like it. But
You
in
don't need
terms
that.
of the IT thing, yeah, the IT thing is not really. It hasn't deterred me from like IT because, quite frankly, brother, I can't see myself doing anything like else. It's like I'm just fortunate in the sense that I'm passionate about coding and it also happens to be a high-paying skill. So it's like,
Y-
and I
Okay,
can
so
also
yeah.
use that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were
Sorry,
breaking up. Sorry.
yeah, I'm saying then I can also, use that money from IT, like you said, instead of trying to get, two IT jobs, why don't you just have one and then focus your money on investments, so that your money is not coming
Exactly,
from just.
because you're exactly right. Because I don't know if it was Malik. Someone was saying there's going to work two jobs, and I was saying that it's better to work one good solid job and get okay. Theo, I love you to death, brother. But I want to tell you, I mean, me and Mufasa was talking about this earlier. Theo, I love you if you watch the stream, but brother, you working your ass off. Okay. And the brother, I mean, you talking about health issues, you talking about this, that, the other. You seen Theo's screens on this page. He had like 15 screens, man, all lined up and shit on his
Yeah,
system.
man.
You know, okay, we get it. That's a $500. That was a $500,000 a year setup. We get that. But brothers, Theo has more than enough money to say, you know what? Fuck all this. I'm out of here. I don't have to work for nobody ever again. I'm gonna work my own business or whatever I want to do. And like Mufasa and I were saying earlier, he can move somewhere where the cost of living is very reasonable and it's very safe and the quality of life is better. You see, if I were in Theo's shoes, that all them computers on this table, that should be in the trash right now. I'd be on my way to Japan right now.
Oh, and brother, speaking of
Facts.
Theo, yeah, speaking of Theo, there's also something that, and I've been thinking of how to like structure my life, you know, because one of the things that I really admire about Theo is not the amount of money that he makes,
Yes.
it's the level of mastery that he has in his craft. So I was thinking to
Yes,
myself,
he's a
you know,
master.
if I don't necessarily want to have like, you know, 4 jobs or something, because I want to have my job, time to enjoy Japan, but I also want to have that time where I can study and upgrade my skills. You know, I don't want to get like replaced, you know, by some AI in the future. I always want to be on top of the next thing. So I think it would be really hard to, you know, be studying new languages, computing languages when you have like 4 jobs. That's what I'm thinking. I'm always thinking of like the balance, you know? Like I don't
Okay,
know when
but
Theo sleeps.
see, yeah, Theo probably sleeps an hour a night. But here's what I'm getting at, brothers. Is remember what I said about a few streams ago, where you got this line, and we all start off on the far left, meaning we need ass, hands, feet, nose, face to work to make money. Remember I was saying that you need body to make
Yeah.
money. Well, you eventually want to start swinging that thing all the way to the right. So, yes, you have aspirations. Yes, you're ambitious. Yes, you want to do this and that, the other. But at the same time, Des, Malik, Soul Shader, while you pursuing that IT dream, make sure that you got those investments getting to the point to where you don't have to work for no fucking body. And then you can get out there and really do your shit.
That's right.
Because nobody is ever going to pay you what you're worth. Nobody. Nobody's going to pay you what you're worth.
Here's a real
Yeah,
quick
and
tip.
also think about, oh sorry,
Go ahead.
sorry,
No, I was just gonna say, guys, quick rule of thumb. If you can live by the 4% rule for retirement, so basically what that means is you want to be able to save enough to where you can live off 4% of your actual investment. 4%. So for instance, for me, if I want to, I already set my 4%. That's going to be 84,000. 84,000 a year is what I would have to generate in dividends or interest, or not interest. I'm sorry, dividends off of my investments in order to pay me $7,000 a month, and I'll
Yeah.
never touch my principal. So if you can get to that point, it's golden because all you're doing is living off your interest.
Brothers, that is the best advice. And see, that's my I concur. I also believe in the 4% rule. The reason why is this. Here's something, brothers, this is real. This is something you got to know. You know how you see like, oh, it's like 20% unemployment or it's 10% unemployment. A lot of people lost their jobs in the pandemic. But guess who they don't talk about? They don't talk about the unearned income living motherfuckers.
Mhm.
Meaning in our country, 87% of the wealth is locked up. So everybody and their brother, people that are paying to go to work, like meaning motherfuckers who buy new cars or buy used cars and put gas in those cars, they're spending money on a car to get them to work. So they're basically paying themselves, I mean not themselves, they're paying to go to work because they have to commute. They're fighting for 13%. Only 13% of the wealth is obtainable in the United States. 87% is locked up. The whites that are part of that 87% of wealth, They never talk about themselves in statistics. You don't see them amongst any statistics. The minute you see where they say unemployment is at 13.9% and the unearned income average for people is at 87%, you'll never see that number.
Yep.
And that's what that's what DT's getting at. The 4% rule. And see, I get people all the time say, well, hey, man, you making all this money in your stock market. Why don't you just sell and get the money? No, you don't sell and get shit. Because even though the market went down last year, on average, it goes up 10% every year since 1820.
Yep.
It goes up 10% every year. So that like this last year, it might have went down 5%. I think my portfolio was down 5%. That means this year is going to be up 15%. It's
Yep.
going to average itself out. In the meantime, my dividends are growing. I don't care about principal. All I care about is dividends. Because like
Right.
DT said, 4%.
And to piggyback off that, the 4% rule really doesn't matter unless you know what the cost of living is going to be. So, for
Yes.
instance, if you want to go to Japan, if you want to go to Costa Rica, Colombia, any of these other places, right? And you figured out that the cost of living for me to live a very lavish lifestyle is going to say, let's say $3,000 or $2,000, right?
Mhm.
So on in my equation, 4%, I've got $7,000 that I'm setting aside every month, but I'm only
Yeah.
spending $3,000 of that for my cost of living to live a lavish lifestyle.
Yes.
So that's $4,000 that's never getting touched. That's going to just roll over, or I'll just do some traveling, or you know what I mean? So really, you got to really figure out where you want to reside and spend the rest of your life, and then base that cost of living off that, and then of course then you can come up with your 4%.
Yeah, and see, Des, and that and social, that's what we're talking about. Because you guys are young, you're right in that position where you're ambitious and you like. We know you have goals and aspirations. You definitely need to achieve those goals and those aspirations. But in the meantime, build that wealth through investments and dividends and work on that 4%. Because a job, in my opinion, a job is just an illusion. The real life is what you are when you're not at your job.
True.
Because the job
True.
is like when it's all clear, the only people left are your friends and your family. Your job ain't gonna be there. It's not gonna be there. So you have to put yourself in this position where you're gonna be living off those dividends. Because a lot of people in the United States, like I said, 87% of their wealth is locked up. These people own property, they own investments, they don't have to ever go to work. Ever. Nobody talks about these people. These people never work. You see them out there. They're jogging around, playing tennis, golf, going to their country clubs, but they never go to the office because they're
Yep.
living off of that unearned income.
That's right. That's
Thanks,
right.
Jay Bones. What up, Jay Bones?
And the
Yep.
sooner you can get there, the better, because I mean, a lot of people work what, uh, all their life to spend 10 to maybe 15 years in retirement to enjoy. So they spend 50, 60 years of working hard every single day, grind, grind,
Slaving.
and then 10 more years, 15 years to enjoy that, 60 years of hard work.
Brother,
Enjoy it while you make it.
that's worse than a prison sentence. I call it the 50-50 plan. And what I mean by the 50-50 plan is you working 50 years, 50 hours a week. That's the 50-50 plan, brothers, that you do not want to be on. Like somebody like in Dez and Malik Soul being the youngest. Soul I would put together a program where I'm only living off of income for the next 10 years. All of you brothers. And guess what? After that, I'm on earning income and I'm only working because I choose to be there, not because I have to be. What I'm getting at is this, brothers. My wife hasn't worked since 2010. She only worked 2. She was fresh out of college. She graduated. She get to the States. Her first job interview, she gets a job. She worked there 2 years. She quit because she wanted to start raising the family. She hasn't worked since. She never will work again in her life. because I don't like my woman out there working for another motherfucker telling her what to do with their schedule. I'm on a schedule right now because I have to be, well, but pretty soon I'm gonna be off that schedule by the end of this year or by the end of this summer. I'm gonna be off that schedule. See, I'm gonna be in a situation like I'm gonna be living off on her income. So that's the goal. And my wife will never have to work for anybody. Why do I want somebody else telling my wife what to do? No, I'm the one that's only supposed to be doing that, not no other fool. So that's what you have to shoot for. Because when you're out there and you're living good and you don't have to worry about working for somebody, and you see the news, Salesforce laying off 10%, Amazon just laid off another 18,000 people. That doesn't mean shit to you because as soon as they lay people off, you own that stock. Guess what? You just made more money. I just made more money because Salesforce laid some people off. And these motherfuckers are busting their ass to get to work. I'm just sitting in my house making money. That's how you gotta build it, brothers. But nobody tells us that. You know why? Because they don't want us to know. They don't want us to know how good it is.
That's right. Financial literacy. It's never taught.
Des, you in the slave land of all slave land. You in South Africa. Some
Yeah,
Africans,
definitely, man.
they own
Like, you know, I'm like,
everything, right?
yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. I mean, when the whole load shedding was going on, like these guys weren't bothered because they can buy, generators that are worth like 25K. It's not even. It's not even like. Let me put it this way. Like for them, recession is, man. I have to spend less on my like BMW or maybe one less Lambo this month. That's recession for them.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. It is. It is. Because they don't, that's what I'm saying. You want to make yourself recession proof.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier about like retiring, I'm turning like 30 next year, so I'm actually kind of starting the IT game a bit late, because I'm just getting into IT at like 30, so to speak. But it's like I don't want to see myself working like until like 65.
Exactly.
No.
Because I see relatives, I see like my relatives, and they've been on this, and it hasn't worked out for them. And I'm
Brother,
like, no, I need to
I
do something like different. That's why I'm putting everything on hold to just do this coding thing, because I'm like, it's like I've been given a storybook. I already see what the ending is.
Mhm.
Because
yes.
like how I started working at 23. Like these guys, a lot of my family relatives, they started working like probably like 18, 16, and like
Yes.
60, and they still don't own their homes. They don't own their home. Still having money problems, still having stress about like basics, like putting stuff in the fridge. I mean, like, come on.
I
It's
just
just like
forgot,
clearly
man.
you see that it doesn't work.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish, but I just want to say I forgot to add Jay to because I just realized I had to scroll down and I just added Jay to the panel, so he'll be talking in a minute. But go ahead, Des. I'm sorry, man. My
Yeah, I'm
apologies.
saying, yeah, you can just see that the system doesn't work, even like with South Africa. That's why I'm trying to look for a job abroad. Like, dude, I'm not interested in working for the rand. There's no hope here. Like, in my opinion, if you're working for the rand, you're a moron, because it's devaluing every single day. And when you mentioned the Japanese work ethic, I know you said you don't want to work for a Japanese company. That's true. But the one thing I've noticed about, and this it's not just Japanese people, just Asia in general, they have a certain work ethic that I'm not seeing in South Africa.
No.
It's just like sometimes I feel like I'm an alien. Like when I talk to you guys or I talk to Theo, it's like they get it, but it's like these guys. It's like last year I was just coding it throughout, because I was trying to hit the ground running. I don't wait for New Year's.
Mhm.
These guys are broke and they're trying to attend every single like event. I need to attend this event. I need to attend this gaming function. I need to attend that. It's just like it's the mentality of the people I'm trying to get away with. South Africa.
They're
It's like,
just like a rat on the treadmill. They're a rat on the treadmill, is what
Yes.
they are. And that's the thing.
yeah,
Like you're in South Africa. We're in the US, the same thing. They be hanging brothers on trees over here too. It's the same mentality. But who
Mhm.
is the elephant in the room? The white unearned income male that
That's
does
right.
not
exactly.
want you to get anything. Brothers, y'all need to know this. They don't want to give you nothing. They
Nothing.
give you nothing. They
Yeah.
say, they lie to your face and say that they freed the slaves. They did not free the slaves. Every brother up here, our ancestors freed us by fighting the Civil War when the whites were running away from the war. They fought the war and stayed and fought. They don't want to put that in the history books. These brothers didn't have nothing to lose. We fought and we died for our freedom. But yet, when we got free, did we get money? No. Did we get reparations? No. Did we get a gun to protect our family with? No. Did we get property to own, the 40 acres in the middle that they promised us in treaties? No. We got
Nothing.
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 So you gotta be the dog, the wolf, the tiger. You gotta be the one you gotta get a hunt and you gotta eat. That's the way you gotta think. I'm gonna hunt and I'm gonna eat. That's the only way you gotta be.
Yeah, I agree with that. And another thing too, if you brothers decide to open up your own business, right, and you end up marrying someone and getting married, instead of having your wife work for the man, have her work for you. W-2 her. Put her on the payroll. I mean,
Well,
that's
no,
the only way to do it.
Mufasa, brother, that is the wisest thing that you could say about this, because you want to know why? When think about it, brothers, even your Western wife, when she's working for you, you think she gonna show her ass? No,
Mhm.
she gonna behave
Uh-huh.
because she know if she mess you up, she gonna mess herself up.
Exactly. Exactly.
Put them in a situation where they gotta do. A woman is used to that. They're accustomed to that. They thrive on competition. They thrive on hard work. They thrive on fighting for their man. Make them do it. That's what they like to do. That's their nature.
And that's called being on your purpose.
And it's called being on your purpose. Exactly.
Yeah.
Jay, what up? Hey, we gotta do a stream. I know you want me to be on your channel.
I
What's
see.
up, dog?
How my brothers doing?
What up, Mr.
Going
Takashi?
in your head, baby.
Hey man, trust me, man. I've been doing so much work, bro. I'm like running on fumes right now, but I'm making time to do everything. Work to get to where you want to get to. Like I said, requires some sacrifice, a little bit of sleep, but at the same time, like I said, I'm doing it, man.
No, brother,
Like I
no.
said,
Don't sacrifice the sleep. No. You know why I'm saying this, brother? You got to get your rest
Mhm.
because you don't want to be driving down the street. And the reason why I'm passionate about this, I lost a couple
Go
friends
ahead.
that fell off the wheel and crashed.
I got
You
you.
don't need that. You don't need that, brother. No. You need to get your rest.
All right, yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Take it from the
Like I
big
said,
brother.
I'm
I'm not bullshitting. You need to get your rest, brother.
Yeah. Sorry, can I just say something to Jay?
Mhm.
Yeah, Jay,
Go ahead.
please get your rest. Listen to Tony,
All right,
man.
bro.
Like, I would not recommend it. Like, I'm
No, I
trying.
got you.
We love you up here,
Because I
man.
don't
We ain't
want
no
to.
broke
No,
up
no,
your
no.
ass.
Because the thing is, I don't want to have any accidents or anything. And trust me, like I said, I don't fall asleep when I drive normally. I'm always awake. That, trust me, please believe I will power on that. I'm not gonna allow any accidents to happen. Especially, like I said, because my main not my main job is driving, but I've driven so much, I know how to, just be well. Like I said, if I gotta pull over to sleep, I will pull over to sleep. I've let people who I worked for previously be like, nah, listen, I don't care if you want your car at freaking 6 a.m., bro. Listen, you kept me out here at this freaking time, I'm gonna sleep for 30 minutes and I'll be over there.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be.
Good.
Because no. I'm like, no, bro. Because like I said, I'm not, and that's why I actually told somebody this to their face. I told them this. And I didn't even use the N word. I said this. I said, listen, y'all sorry a lot of people don't freaking understand this. I'm not a goddamn machine. You can just turn on and off. Understand that? I'm not any of that shit. I'm not these deadbeat fucking coworkers. Like you could just turn on like a drone and just do whatever. I'm here to do my work. I'm here to freaking get it done. I'm here to freaking go back home and get some freaking sleep and take care of any other freaking work I gotta take care of. I ain't got time. I don't have time for y'all throwing extra shit on me today. And guess what? And I guess no offense to the new recruits or whatever. Best of luck to them. I ain't helping all of them. I got too like I said. I'm being a selfish motherfucker right now because I don't have time for this right now. Because you always want somebody to piggy bank off. No, want somebody to piggy bank and jump off of someone whenever they're struggling. But you should have been the one to teach them in the damn goddamn first place. Like once is okay. 2 to 3. Nah, you're trying to demand more of me than what I can actually give y'all and actually go out of my way for you. That's why my man Joseph left y'all cats for a reason, and why I left soon after when I said that. Because I said, like I said, you couldn't. I said you're right up on your day. This be your last day, whatever. I got other jobs that I have in order to knock out and get money. I don't have time for this. And I told him they'd be like, "Sir, we're sorry." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't listen. I don't give a damn about your excuses. I don't give a damn about your apologies. It's just a principle of things. To not freaking bombard your freaking employee with more work than he needs to freaking do. And trust me, this ain't one of those jobs where you just throw extra work on somebody. So I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it.
Right
And if
on.
you try to punish me for that, and I told him if you try to punish me for that shit, trust me, I already listen. I will walk out that door the day after. So don't do that. I told him that, and I actually had the balls to say that. My father said, like, son, I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself and actually having some backbone and not like doing that. Be careful with stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm proud of you, son. That's what he told me.
Right on.
That's
Yeah.
all that
Because
matters.
he said because he didn't want them to drain. He didn't want that job draining my life away.
That's right.
Is what he told me. So what
You
you
ain't on
guys
no
are telling me is
plantation,
pretty much
brother.
the same thing.
You
Yeah,
trying to
hell
get off
no.
that
I'm nobody's
plantation.
fucking slave. Right? Ain't nobody's slave. That's just
Yeah.
not happening.
Right on,
And
brother.
to what the brothers on the panel were saying about the work ethic and things like that, that is important, guys. You gotta I've always said organize your time wisely, things like that, because you want to make sure you have enough time to sleep, similar to what you guys have told me before. Of course, make time for sleep, but also you want to make sure you're getting everything you want to get done. But
Yep.
I want to say this: your health, number one priority is your health. I do want y'all to be safe in that regards, because like I said, sleep deprivation is a real thing. But and like I said, it may not be. I'll say this: it might not be hurting you inside or whatever, but is gonna mess with you mentally. Because like I said, anybody who doesn't get sleep gets insomnia with that shit. And I know a friend of mine that had that, and he had to go to the hospital for that shit, and he's much better now. But he was just it was just a reminder to me not to do that shit. You know, because like I said, because he
Brother,
just
you
thought
gotta
he could
understand.
keep powering on through.
They want us dead. They want us dying. They can't wait for a brother to die. That's the way you got. So you know what you do to fight that? You live. They can't
Yes,
wait
sir.
for us to die.
Yep.
Yeah,
True.
that's true, Tom.
hmm
I mean,
Yeah.
one of the things I've actually noticed, and Jay, dude, big ups for standing up for yourself.
Yeah,
Because
Jay,
one of the
I was
things I've also noticed is that these people, a lot of people, non-black people, they still have it mentally. You can detect it mentally that they still view like black men as like the slave class who are just supposed to take the work and shut up. And I've noticed that the second you start standing up for yourself, it's like a shock to their system. It's like, oh, fall in line, fall back
hmm
in line. What are you doing? And a lot of
That's
the times, and
exactly it.
I've noticed one of the sad things I've noticed is you'll have other blacks around you tell you that no, that's you are out of line. You should fall back, and it's like, no, don't cause troubles for us. And Jay, what you did was just that's amazing. Like you
yeah,
hmm
need
Jay.
more of
And
that.
then not just that, I had a brother named Joseph. He was just because he trust me, he has family and kids, but he said, but listen, bro. He said because he's former military. For anybody who's former military like him, he has a little girl, little boy, and he has a freaking wife. Like shout out to him for being married to a sister that's outside of America, but he still married her. And he said to me specifically, "Yo, for the time that we do all this, we get one day off, and we gotta work all this time. You're not letting my body rest and things like that." He pointed that out very simple. He said, "Like, hell no." He said, "Well, he's and the thing is, he did complain about things." That did not make any sense, and that these motherfuckers were contradicting your things. I'm like, I'm glad you caught that too, because I caught it within like not even a year. I caught it within like maybe like the first 2 to 3 months, I noticed freaking things like that, and I was just like, yeah. And it's just like, well, once you catch it, you'll be like, all right, bro, I see the bullshit we are trying to do. Y'all not gonna do nothing to fix it or try to help us, and you're trying to keep us out here longer and all that nonsense. Like, bro, I'm not about to be, like I said, I'm not about to be running Captain Save-A-Hole for any of y'all. I'm not doing that. Like, no. And he dipped. He is a better job now. But him and another brother of mine just said, yo, just help me get out. I got out when I did, and then, like I said, I have a different job now, and I'm just chill more often than not, like not pushing myself to the nth degree. But I do. But listen, I do agree, guys. Like, so like, ain't they're trying to work you to death? Ain't nobody gonna work me to death. And just listen, the only person that can work yourself to death at this point would be you. If the job that I would say through the jobs that you gained, and you're working for yourself, but it should be easier for you because you're doing it for yourself and you know what you can handle.
That's
Because
right.
like I said, you're your own kind of boss. You know what needs to get done. You know what's gonna benefit you, and you know what's gonna get the job done at the end of the day. So that's why people say the best kind of boss is yourself. They actually are right. They're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially if you work from the house, man. Trust me, nobody gonna boss you. You just do your own thing.
Keep that mindset, Jay. Just keep that mindset. Hey, Tony, I'm gonna have to jet. I'm gonna have to jet, brother. I gotta get my
All
sleep
right,
and
brother.
rest. Get up in the morning
That's
real
right.
quick.
Get your sleep, brother, and rest up.
Sure.
Rest
No,
up
I
for the
just
war,
noticed
brother.
his avatar was a lion. That's what's up.
Right. That's why I'm
Yeah, he's a
Mufasa.
lion. He gonna hunt.
Yeah,
He gonna
that's
eat.
nice.
That's right. All right,
Oh yeah,
brothers.
you got to
It's been
hunt.
a pleasure. It's
All
been
right,
a pleasure
brother.
hanging out and
All right, brother.
Bye, bro.
chopping up with you cats. And you know, stay on your purpose, brothers. Live life and enjoy. Because you know what? Every day passes. You never know when that clock is gonna stop. So
Never know. Never know.
enjoy. I just lost a good friend of mine last week. Passed away from a heart attack. You know, cool brother, son, my son's age, best friends. Son walked in, found his dad on the floor, tried to revive him and couldn't, you know. So, hey, take care of yourself, you know. It's no joke. Heart attacks is the #1 killer of black men.
Yep.
So, take care of yourself, brothers.
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right, we'll
All
talk.
right, brother. You do
Peace
the
out.
same. You do the same, brother. Much love, brother. You do the same.
All right, be
All
safe,
right, brother.
brother.
Thank
I
you.
just I wanted to go back to what Des was saying, and we won't have too much left on the stream, but I just wanted to go back to what Des was saying because it's real important what happened. I don't know if y'all follow. I know the brothers over here follow the NFL. We all knew what happened with Hamlin
Oh
on that
yeah,
field.
I just found
Okay,
out. Yeah,
I was in
just yesterday.
I was in Japan, so I seen it on news over there, but I didn't realize how serious it was. But here's the thing: this brother, I put the thing up on my Facebook page on my TikTok. It's a TikTok. I'm not TikTok, but I just used the one they got. And the brother was talking about how Hamlin's only been playing in the NFL for 2 years. I didn't realize this, but the NFL collective bargaining agreement says you need 4 years to be vested. In other words, be vested means to get a retirement check from the NFL to get health care taken care of for the rest of your life in the NFL, right? Hamlin has only been playing for 2 years. I think now they
2 years.
did say recently that somebody came out and said they're going to do something about it now that they got the talk out. But the basic thing is this. The NFL does not have guaranteed pay. The baseball
Not like
is
the
guaranteed.
NBA. Yeah.
The Marlins signed a 30-year, signed a 10-year, like Aaron Judge signed a 10-year, I think $500 million. No matter what he do, he fart wrong, he's still gonna get that $500 million no matter what he do. He get hurt, he getting that $500 million. NFL, they don't pay that much, first of all, like that. And they do these guarantee. Oh, you getting $36 million
It's contracts.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then your contract
Yeah.
is you 5 year, you making $5 million, $10 million a year, but you're getting guaranteed money. But see, the thing is this: that's for the guy who's earned his stripes, not for the young rook or the young 2-year guy like Hamlin who gets hurt. Because think about it, brothers, just look at this scenario here. Now I know Social Security because I'm getting close to getting Social Security. Brothers don't pay attention to Social Security, but you got to pay attention to it, how it works. Social Security is going to take your top 3 earned years. And then when you retire and you start getting close to Social Security, you're going to get a check based on how you worked and how much you made actually, right? Now, how you worked, how much you made and paid in the system. Now, here's the thing. The football players, if he's only playing football for 2 years, he gets hurt, he's not vested. How much money you think he's gonna be able to put in Social Security? If he ain't normal, he can't make that big money anymore. So what I'm getting at is the NFL is, I watch football, I love football, but I understand that it's nothing but a modern day form of slavery. They use cash as a decoy, but they're actually a bunch of slaves on that field running around, and they get hurt. They're like, "See ya, next," and they limping for the rest of their life, and they making minimum wage for the rest of their life. People don't see that part of the NFL, but that's the true reality of it all, brothers. That's the true reality. And so Dez brought that up, and that's why I remembered what he was saying. They white people in this country, and I think it's the same in South Africa, they look at us as a tool. They did not bring us here to share the wealth. They brought us here to be used to build the wealth for themselves and their families.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, even with overtime, they don't really. I mean, I'm not saying that South Africa doesn't pay for overtime. I'm talking about the culture of overtime. They don't see overtime as something that is overtime. They see it as something that you are supposed to be doing. Like dance monkey, how dare you think you want to book three days sick leave? Who do you think you are? 3 days sick leave? What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Because you have
it's
to
like they
remember.
want. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
That's weird. Oh no, go ahead.
You have to remember, if you drop dead, they will replace you in a minute.
Yep. They will. Brothers are expendable to them. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't know, you check out how the whites treat us. Just look at dating a white woman. I'm up here in Seattle. White woman heaven is what the brothers called it. It's not like it was before, but it used to be. When I first got up in the early 90s, white women were chasing brothers. But what I realized is that all those brothers that I used to remember running the clubs, guess what I see homeless on the street 30 years later? The same brothers that was running the women. Because what they were doing is they were running these women, but they wasn't focused on building their wealth. But what'll happen with a white chick up here is she'll listen to Tupac and Dr. Dre and all of that with the brother and get banged and have a black boyfriend once in a minute. But guess what she gonna do when she get around 26, 27 years old? She gonna get her a redneck white boy, and she not gonna give two shits about Tupac or Biggie or nobody, because she know that that's gonna get her married. And she might even be a goddamn Trump supporter after that. And she don't remember nothing, don't want to remember nothing about being banged by Pookie and Ray Ray. All she know is, hey, I'm with this white boy. He got a family, and I'm on the farm, and I'm making money. They will change up on your ass. They're superficial. They never really take a brother serious. That's why you see a lot of break up with brothers. Because they're just out there for play. They're out there to use us as tools. Oh, I want to know what it's like to sleep with a black guy. I love black guys. That's how they look at us. Unfortunately, most of them look at us like that. We are a
Right, just can't trust them.
It's what?
I said we just can't trust them long term.
You can't trust them, Soul Shader, because look, we all know, look, every woman in the world wants to be a big titty blonde. We know that. But is a big titty blonde better for brothers? No. First of all, they don't last that long. They don't really last. Their looks don't last that long. Their looks they deteriorate quick. They get fat quick. Their skin get bad. They don't last that long. And that's what I'm saying.
They're like a Ford. They're like a Ford. It breaks down easily.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. In Japan, they're built to last.
And yeah, they're built. I'd say this. They're built to last, and also they're the way they've been taught, the way they've been raised, and the way they like persevere throughout their resiliency is what's kept them alive for like longer than most. I will want to point that out. And also, I've always said Asian always had good genes because they get, like I said, they can look like one can look 20 and actually be 40, but it's crazy. Because like I said, because I've seen it with the men too. They look like the same thing. So that's why I said that'd be more so the benefit of your children have Asian genes, with black being mixed with Asian genes, because they'll live longer a little bit more often than not. And any offsets that's in your body, this is crazy for me to say this, I think like I think the Asian genes like mixed together from the woman you lay down with. I think it'll just make it. I think it'll just make the children a lot stronger. If I'm
Well,
gonna
that's
be
what they
real.
say. They did the surveys on it. They said it does because, unfortunately, in the United
Sound
States,
crazy saying that.
no, it's not. Because unfortunately, in the United States, did you know that most blacks are related to each other and don't even know it? I do Ancestry.com. I do family research. Most blacks in
Okay.
this country are related to each other. You and I, me, Soul Shader, Molly, and Soul Shader even said I look like people in his family. He look like people in my family, and we look like each other. He looked like me when I was younger. We are related. We
Okay.
just have to find out how we're related because so
Yeah.
I got
Yes.
cousins that married cousins that they related to. They found out later they related to them. See, so that's why you
Right.
get you an Asian woman that's the farthest away from the realm, and that's why your kids end up right
From our gene pool, yeah.
in the gene pool.
Right. And the thing is, like I said, I always take into not even just compatibility as most, but more so like I guess like things like I said, things you take good measures that you things that you take a measure to make sure your body is clean and everything. They do that. They do that shit like it's like not even. It's like just routine at that
Yep.
point for them.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with the wife that you pick, like I said, all the healthy stuff like Tony said his wife cooks and stuff. Oh, please, wife, go right ahead and cook whatever. That's healthy. That I need to eat
Mhm.
because that's one less thing for me to worry about at that point.
Yes, that's what these women do. They make sure that you are fed well. They harmonize the home. They manage. They're very good managers. I've seen it in Japan when I was just there. I've seen how my mother-in-law manage a home. I've seen how my cousin-in-law's wife manage a home. I've seen how my wife manage. They know how to manage a home. And they're not gonna let that home be, they're not gonna let some dramatized ABW roll in that open there and change the game on them for 15 minutes. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. They'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, excuse me, can you ask her to leave, please? Thank you." That's how they talk.
Oh, trust me, I would love to hear a Japanese woman say that. You get her. I'd be like, sweetheart, with pleasure.
Yes. They
That
have to leave.
ass.
They have to get out now. I'm not gonna destroy my harmony in my house. They have to leave. That's how they think.
And right. And the thing is, you want your house like what you said, Tony. You said you make your house be like it's all mini Tokyo in there. That's what the
Yeah.
hell I want. I'll
Yeah.
make sure. Well, first of all, I'll say this. I make sure anybody bringing drama or shit to my house with my lady and my kids. It's not gonna happen because, like I said, we're gonna keep it mini Tokyo in here, and that's how we're gonna keep it. And anybody who ain't down with that program, hey man, I'm gonna be real with you. You might have to just leave.
Yep.
Just be real. Because like I
Because
said,
you
because
gotta
some of
get
my
your help.
family members, yeah, like I said, some of your family members, like trust me, that's only mom and dad that's allowed here more often than not. Her mom and dad and my mom and dad. Anybody outside that, yeah, like I said, anybody outside that, y'all don't know how to behave. That's why in the city there's just I told my stepsister and all them, like I said, I just don't trust y'all because you ain't about to corrupt my wife. That just ain't happening. Cause she's listen. If she's this, listen. Funny enough, I say samurai. Listen, if she's the freaking maiden, then I'm the freaking samurai, the freaking the ward. Actually, the fucking emperor that guards the shit. Ain't nobody coming here and messing that up. That's just not
No.
happening.
Nope.
And like I said, sometimes you gotta distance yourself from people to have that peace. And I'm like, I'm completely fine with that. Hey, I'm completely fine with that, man. But especially 20% I work my ass off, and I finally get it. I said, you think I'm gonna allow y'all to? I said, you think I'm gonna allow y'all to fuck that up? Y'all, your dear mind.
Jay,
And
I
I
was gonna ask
and
you, brother. Well, I know you going on this one, but I didn't mean to cut you off. But I just thought about something that you just referred to back a few weeks ago, and also too, don't forget to let me know when you want me to be on the stream. But
oh,
first
okay.
of all, I wanted to ask you this: what is your game plan again? Because I know you said it before, but how close are you getting to Japan?
Okay, so I'm gonna be okay. So I'm finishing up the rest of. I'm gonna be finishing up the rest of school this year. Like I said, I'm going back, so I can just not so I can knock things out. Because originally since it was always stated that you just need a degree, and like I said, I already had an associate's. I can just finish out. Like I said, I can get this done in probably a year or two, if anything. But I think I'm gonna do it and go to IT. So I'm going to be spending a little bit more money right there because I want to make sure I do IT to get the extra money that you talked about getting. Because the teaching thing isn't just going to be enough to live off of. You're going to need IT stuff. So like I said, it's going to require me to do a hell of a lot more studying, hella time investing in this, and just trying to pass my classes more often than not. So that's really the goal right now. Is just knock that out and then be done with it. Because right now I'm getting ready to go to the railroad being a train conductor, and they make like 62K about a freaking year. And the thing is it's not overwhelming on the body. Like that's actually a job I can actually do, as opposed to driving all over the freaking place and just wearing myself out. With this job, I actually have a brother in the neighborhood that helped me out with this job. And he has his kid and his wife and everything, and he's been there for a long time. He's like, yo, this son, you work. Listen, so here's what it is: you work 4 days, you get 3 straight days off. But how much you get paid those straight days? Trust me, it's enough to pay your bills for like 2 months, 2 to 3 months is what he said.
Okay.
And the thing is, he actually gave me the estimate of the money because that's what I wanted to know. Don't jump around and tell me how much money you get, bro. Oh, bro, you'll have somewhere around $3,000. $3,000? Wait, the whole month? Somewhere around there. I'm like, maybe a little bit more if you want to work an extra day. And I was like, all right, sign me up, bro. Sign me up. That's what I told him. And that's well, I'm planning to do that. Like I said, because I'm gonna build up more money this year. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna be taking online course classes. That's what I'll start doing. Because like I said, so I can just start knocking that out quickly. And then after I've done that, and I've got the IT and everything, you might buy my bachelor's and all that. I'm gonna there is a program specifically not to just to teach over there and things like that. I'm gonna start looking into programs for that, so I can go over there to start teaching and everything, and just to make sure I have my teaching license. I guess do I need that, Tony? A teaching license?
No,
Or
you
do I
don't
just
need
need the degree?
the degree is better. But
Okay.
here's what I'm gonna take this
Okay.
thing
There we go.
further, because I told y'all I'm the tiger. I'm gonna hunt. I'm gonna eat. And here's what I'm gonna do. I like to make sure the brothers on the same page. Now I'm gonna ask you brothers this. Y'all need to do this for me. Give me an update on where you're at in your progresses throughout the year. I don't want to hear no talk. I don't want to hear no bullshit. I want to,
Yes,
because
sir.
my job is to get you to Japan, or to help you get to Japan, not to get you there, but to help you get there. And I'm not going,
Right.
me, I don't lie to brothers. I'm not going to hold brothers back. I'm not going to blow smoke at brothers' ass. If I don't think you're on the right track, I'm going to tell you, man, you know what, Jay, what you're doing? You're not on the right track, man. It's not going to get you there. I'm not saying what you just told me. I'm just saying, for example, if I
Yeah.
see something like Dez always gives me updates. Dez always sends me messages. Hey, man, I got this going on. I got that going on. And I say, okay, I sign off on it. I agree with that. Or I might say, wait a minute, Dez, why you doing that? What about this? Why you not focused on that? I need all the brothers up here that can do that, to do that for me. Send it to me a message or something. Hey, like Soul Shader might be like, yo, because I know he does a lot. Soul Shader's a big time texter, man, by the way. He probably texts more than anybody. But Soul Shader's always and Malik, if y'all on that plan, don't just get over there or try to get there and just be like, okay, well, that's it. And I ain't know nothing about it. Because there's always in there where I could have told you something that you just forgot about or never thought about that could get you in the game. Remember, brothers, you're gonna hunt and you gotta eat. You're gonna hunt and you're gonna eat. You're gonna hunt and you're gonna eat. There's no more, there ain't no love in this game. There ain't no love in this game. You talking about your life. Because you know what's gonna happen. And when it's all said and done, and you sitting over there in Japan with a nice house and 2 or 3 beautiful kids and a wife cooking you dinner, you're never gonna forget that. You're not gonna forget that. And you're gonna appreciate all the hard work you put into it. And you're gonna be looking at the news from Japan. You're gonna be on YouTube looking at CNN report, talking about how bad brothers are doing in the US, or how some brother got raped from his ex-bitch because she took all his shit. You're gonna be reading about that. But you're gonna be in Japan, you can be like, oh, your woman gonna be like, hey, guess what? What? We're going to the Onsen, we're going to Hot Spring tomorrow, and they got some good food in Hot Spring. We're gonna stay. Okay. How many nights we gonna stay, baby? Oh, we're gonna stay about 3 days. Okay, no problem. That's what you're gonna be dealing with. That's the end goal, brothers.
I like the sound of that.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's like, I mean, if I
I
sound like
need
I'm
that.
hard on
Trust
people,
me.
man, I'm only being hard. You see Coach Prime. Coach Prime, I mean, he's a little bit too religious for my taste, but I do like his ethic. I like his work ethic. I like the way he getting that ass.
I got you.
He tell people, you
Right.
want it? What you want? Do you want this?
Go and get it.
And me, I don't want nothing.
Yeah.
I tell people, brother, don't want it. Choose to get it. A want is just a request. You got to choose to get it. You got to choose to get it. You got to look in the mirror and you got to understand that this world hates us. You brothers, let me tell you one thing before I'm gonna shut the panel down because I know we've been late and I got guys on the East Coast that gotta get some rest. But here's what I'm saying, brothers. This is one thing that says it all. I'm in Kyoto 2 weeks ago. I'm checking into the hotel. I'm about to get 2 rooms that I reserved one for my family, one for my in-law. I got this white boy 2 lines behind me, and his family's sitting. I see him sitting off on the side. I didn't know where he was from. I'm dressed out. He's just average. I got a Japanese guy coming up to me, taking a picture with me. That was my father-in-law's friend. He took a picture with me. He's my wife's godfather. And then I got a couple other Japanese coming up to me, asking me questions. And this white boy's looking at me like, who is this brother? Who is this brother? And I'm just looking around and looking to see where people at. He's standing right in front of me as I look around. I look past him. I didn't even recognize him. He was nothing to me. He was just a spot on the wall. That's the attitude you brothers got to take. He was nothing. I was a black man about ready to get 2 rooms in there. People coming up to me. And he's standing in there wondering who I was. That's how it's supposed to be for the brothers. It's our time. This is our time, brothers. This is our time. These fools done had their day. We taking over. We taking over. They got 87% in the U.S. Get out of the U.S. Did you know that the minute you leave the U.S., you are now equal or wealthier than anybody in the country you in? Your kids. The minute my children leave the States, they land in Japan. They're wealthier than anybody around them, any other children around them, or they about the same. But they're not below anybody. You see what I'm saying? That's where the world's coming to. That's what the world's coming to, brothers. So when I was walking around in Japan, I seen these foreigners. I didn't even look in their face. I didn't pay them any mind. If I didn't know them, I could care less about them. Because I was a brother on the mission. And my mission was to make sure my family's good, my life is good over there. I ain't worried about these people. That's the way we got to be. We got to be ice cold. We got to be ice cold, brothers. We got to be, and when I mean by ice cold, I mean focus. I mean, you can't let people get you all upset. Because when you get upset, you get thrown off your game. Somebody come up on you and they're acting a fool. Okay, well, you know what, man? We got a problem because you tried to attack me, so I'm going to go ahead and call the police. I want to file a police report. What? Well, I thought you were going to get in the fight with me, man. No, man. No. You didn't hit me. You didn't hit me, but you did arrest me, you did threaten me, so I am going to be filing a police report. They don't know about this about brothers. That's one less one of them out there on the street. One less.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, brothers, is you got to be focused. And you can't get up here on the platform and say anything. Whatever you say, Jay, I know you saying it. Des, you saying it. Malek, you saying it. So say you saying it. Write that shit down. Make a list. See, if you see what I wrote, I got my little green book. Right? I don't know if you can see it. I got my little green book. I know
Not yet.
back. And I write notes of my move in this book. You know, you can't see it. Yeah, in this book.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
And I check them off. A cell phone is good, but no. Write it, because when you write it down, you remember it twice. Too many brothers are out there saying shit, but they're not getting it done. This is 23. The boat is done already. So we got to make our own plane. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's all I want to say, man. I don't want this to turn into one of those things where I just, getting in there. I just care so much about my brothers, man.
No, we need to hear this.
The more the
And
brothers I see
yeah.
good, the merrier. The more the merrier. The more
Oh,
brothers
trust
I
me,
can
man. I respond to tough love, so that's very much needed to me. And like I said, very militarious. That's how my dad works, and that's how he like very freaking just vocal with me. Where it's just like, yes, son, you want to go get it. But and the thing is, like I said, he's cool with me going to Japan. Like he actually wants me. My mother's the one that's actually scared whenever I have talks with her and things like that. Where it's just like, you don't know anything about that. Well, that no, because you haven't been outside the. No. But it's like I said, it's the woman you married, so you got to understand. She because of what she hears, I'm like, yeah, in America, yeah, your mother, America's any better? That's what I told her. And it's just like I didn't want to throw that in their face, but I'm like, I had to. I'm like, yes, any better? Trust me, every other place. I said every place got their problems, but at the same time, but no, I told her, but at the same time, you bring up that prime minister that was shot one time. That had nothing to do with a black man. So I
no.
don't care for that. I don't care for that because
Well,
I wasn't gonna let her have that, and that's what I was like, nope, mom, you're wrong about that. That's just one person, and also that had nothing to do with a black man, regardless of anything.
and that doesn't
And the
happen in
thing is,
Japan all the time
yeah,
anyway.
it doesn't, and that's what I told her. That's what I told her. I said, you know what the crime rate in Japan is? It is abysmally less, so much
Yep.
less than freaking America and other places.
Yep.
What are y'all talking about? This is damn near close to a utopia here.
Hey,
And if you
you
try
know
to
what,
destroy that
brother?
peace, trust me, they will get you the fuck out and try to destroy their peace. And I'm
Yeah,
with that.
because to a Japanese, if you hit somebody, it's like shooting them. But you know what, brother?
Yes.
I was going to tell you one thing, man. I forgot before I close this out. Valeri Kirmu too. This brother mentioned something about Korean women. I know this topic isn't about Korea, but I've lived in Korea. I know Korea too. And he says basically that he said to me, "Senpai, I'm gonna actually show it up here so y'all see what he said." So he actually said this, right? And he said, to be honest, don't think they're a good match for brothers in general. Even yet, guys complain how they just want to spin and look pretty. What I gotta say about the Korean ladies, man?
We need wives,
Okay,
not dolls. True
so,
shit, we do.
okay, I dated a lot of Koreans, and I tell you, they don't match up with Japanese brothers. I'm sorry, they don't, because they always have an
I'm pretty sure they
ulterior.
don't.
They always have an ulterior motive. They're fun to hang out with. They're fun to kick it with, but they got those nasty ass tempers, and they will drop you or drop not you drop you, but drop out on you in a heartbeat.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
They just want to look good. They just want to look good. They just want to look pretty.
That
But
plastic surgery is over there real. I'm gonna lie.
plastic surgery
You be
is
here.
real in South Korea,
Real
man.
over there. Yeah.
And
And I'm like, that's
so,
why some of the stuff on Twitter you see, they look disproportionate. I'm just like, oh shit, not this.
no. So
Hey, Tony.
So he's right.
Hey, Tony,
You know-
thank you so much for your input. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate your time today.
Thanks, brother.
Hope to follow up with some good news unless we speak in between. And
Yeah, reach out to me on the messages, brother. Y'all know you. Like I said, let me know where y'all at in your game plan, because it's January now. As far as I'm concerned, it might as well be May, because if you ain't got it done in January, then you're not gonna have it done in May. So these months go by pretty quick, man. January is March will turn into May.
Oh, they do.
May, July, quick. So you gotta make sure that you on point. Malik, you got yourself a timeline. I know yours is probably the most. You're probably gonna get over there before anybody on this platform. I'll be there in June. I'm moving there in June. That is official. I am going to be packing up my stuff.
congratulations.
Thanks,
Congratulations,
brother.
by the way, to move back to Japan, brother. Trust me, that's something
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, brother. I'm out of this motherfucker, man. So I got to deal with the next.
Trust me,
I'm
when I get over
enjoy
there,
it.
I'm not leaving.
No,
He's like, when I get over there, I'm
I'm
not leaving. I told people.
No, you don't have to. I'm enjoying my time left here in the U.S. I mean, I still got some fun to do, but I can't wait to get on that plane, man. And look at Mr. Anthony. Damn, Mr. Anthony, gonna be in Thailand. Say what? My homeboy from Philly.
Oh shoot! Damn.
Oh,
You guys
thanks,
have a
brother.
good
My
night. I'm
homeboy
signing
from
out.
Philly.
He says I'll be in Thailand in March. Oh, dude.
Oh man, Philly gonna be in Thailand. This motherfucker gonna be in Thailand, baby. Sawadee Kop, baby. Gonna be in Thailand.
Damn
All
it.
right, brothers. Y'all take it easy, man. Love you, man. Love you guys, man. Stay black, brothers, because that's all that really matters in this motherfucker. Remember, you hunt
Mhm.
brothers.
or eat.
Yes, sir.
All right,
At
brothers.
least say all brothers be safe.
Be safe, brothers.